Yeah, babe.
Are you in?
Yeah,
Wake bars. Terrible.
Oh shit, I'm stuck.
Uh-oh.
Where am I stuck at?
I know,
I'm
I've been stuck
here.
over here for a minute.
Alright, I tagged you all. And I'm gonna share it.
It's me. I'm here.
If you guys...
Can we all share
You
it?
probably can. If you can
Alright,
all share,
let's
give
do
this a
this
little
thing.
share.
Hello.
Let's share.
Tag
here.
you.
We're here.
I'm gonna start a watch party, actually.
Ooh.
Start a watch party.
And you guys
I'll get on
join.
once the watch party is started.
Wait, what is a watch party?
Also,
Yeah.
we had a watch party last night for Val.
Do you need your phone?
We all watched like 3 or 4 jiu-jitsu matches together.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's
I didn't
That's
say
pretty
that.
I know. They also touch tips through their watch party.
We didn't even see each other through our watch party.
No, that's not what you said last
Jesus Christ.
time. Oh my god. Brian, you have to pick a card now. We have all picked a card.
There, that's probably.
How do I share? How do I even see this?
I don't know. We have one person watching.
I'm
Who
tagging
are
you
you?
right now.
Who is it?
Is it you, babe?
Yeah.
somebody
Oh, it
else?
might be, yeah.
We're watching
I'm starting a
ourselves.
watch party.
We don't have a watch party yet. Where's Katie?
Katie, we need you. She's an integral part of this life.
She is. But she's also a kid, so it's like, was that like?
Alright,
I'm sure they're watching.
I officially have a watch party going on. I tagged you
Who
guys.
is it? Is it you, babe?
Oh, it might be,
Wait, what's
yeah.
happening? I
Whoa.
hear myself. I
Oh.
hear myself.
Oh, there we go. Hello, watch party.
Are we on?
Watch party.
I got it.
Jamie's got it.
We got people coming
We
in.
got multiple guests. We got some
We got-
fight back stickers.
We got some Fight Back stickers and some Fight Back CBD because, as always, the Common Chaos Podcast, the Apodcalypse Now series, is brought to you by Fight Back CBD. That's right. 2 members of Team Fight Back in the house. Oh, yeah, we're not touching
That
Corona.
was embarrassing.
Yeah, that was kind of close.
That was embarrassing.
And then
Hope
there's
everybody's
me,
doing
but I'm
fine.
leaving.
And she's leaving. Becca was
I'll be
here,
back.
and she's leaving. We'll definitely get the computer out of her way. Allow me to just adjust things. I'm sorry, guys. We came in hot.
We came in.
There's only 2 of us watching. I'm probably one of
okay.
them.
I shared it. My gloves are now sanitized.
Yes, that's a good move.
They're not touching anything.
That's a good move, and you haven't stopped the gloves either.
Yeah. They're fucking.
Are you guys snapping?
He is, you know.
Well, I just sanitized my gloves so they're safe. That's a nice guitar. What songs do you know how to play?
Not anymore. No, I do. I'm so rusty, man. I would be embarrassed to play right now. I would have to get on. What's up, Crystal? How you doing? Hola. How are you guys holding out in Palm Springs? Sorry, I know that's so bad.
Ooh.
That's squeaky. Alright, I'm comfortable now. I'm gonna start writing shit in here.
Okay.
Pull the fuck on. Yeah, I was just gonna say, I can't go to work. No. Well, I can't work anyway. But you might be the perfect, like.
Is Ivan watching?
I think he might have. Katie as
Coming at
well.
this fat cat.
Which, yes, you will. What's up? Hi, Ivan. Thank you for the support.
Dude,
You
Ivan's
tuned in
awesome.
and listening to our bullshit.
Yeah, right.
Orange belts.
Orange bells.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Man,
Julie's here. Jealous of your masculine. I need sanitizer too. My bad.
if you want to
Do a
touch
fight
this,
back. Do a fight back.
do you want me to sanitize the bottle before you take it? Something that won't work as hand sanitizer is Fight Back CBD. It will calm your anxiety, ease your stress, help your pain. It's an amazing product. Just a couple of drops under your tongue for a few minutes. It goes a long way. Helps out. I put it in my smoothies. I put it in my tea, my coffees.
Episode's also brought to you by Germex.
It goes in everything that is liquid.
Okay,
And
they're getting
it
the
helps.
sponsors out of the way in the beginning, so
I love
we don't
Fight
talk
Back.
about them.
Oh, but we're doing sponsored ads all throughout this episode tonight.
I don't have a
Because you can go to fightbackcbd.com and save 20% on your next order. And you know what they got? They just don't have CBD products. No. They have rash guards, ranked rash guards
Yes.
that you can get off of fightbackcbd.com. They also have t-shirts that you can get off fightbackcbd.com. They also have magnificent CBD products that are 100% THC free. That's right, 100% THC free CBD that you can get at fightbackcbd.com. Save 20% on your order. Enter the code CHAOS.
Chaos.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, that was awesome.
I'm gonna buy some right now.
Yes, you are.
Hold on, we have to pull a
There
card
you are.
for Julia.
We are not brought to you by Topo Chico.
Not
This
all
is
the
the
time.
official podcast
Well,
of the end of the world.
We're gonna pull one for
Yeah,
Julia.
we're on
Are you
our
okay?
pod. We're on my pod. Thank you very much.
I feel like your podcast is what I would listen to at the end of the world. Like,
I don't know, man.
I mean, you keep me up to date with stuff.
I legitimately thought we were gonna have 4 people on this podcast.
I know, now there's a gaggle.
You and me.
Alright, I'm cool with
Are
it.
you in the frame?
I am in the frame.
Let's get
You just can't see my hand at this point.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so
You're
your
nice.
mom's are-
How are you feeling?
I am not feeling sick yet.
Good.
Yes, how are you?
I'm doing good. There's 6 people in my house right now. 6, total of 6. We're staying under
Under
the 10
10?
limit
Yes.
that we've
Yes.
been required to follow by the United States government.
That's just for small gatherings.
For some of you, it is
Cheers.
a total of a week in quarantine. Salud.
Man, it's risky lifting this mask to drink. I don't want to get the coronavirus.
For some of you, it is not. I hope we're not too loud. I have a feeling you're probably a bit too
Sorry,
loud.
I was like,
Is this where you see what people are saying?
Yeah.
Oh, that's under you.
I see it on my thing too. And check
Okay.
it. I didn't even hit record. Here we go.
Great.
Now we're in it.
Now
Oh,
we're in
what
it.
happened here?
We're winning.
It's their microphones. What happened? Stop. What happened here? Oh, come on. That's rude. Sorry, guys. Who the fuck am I? Can we get some talking? Can we get some
I've been-
checks? Here we
I've been
go.
asked, why do I look like a Mexican Sub-Zero?
Why do you look like a Mexican
I
Sub-Zero?
don't know. I didn't try to look Mexican or like Sub-Zero today, so if I'm winning in both of those categories, I'm doing well.
If you're winning in both of
I
them.
feel like I'm playing Mortal Kombat now. Thanks, Ivan. I just don't want to catch the coronavirus from Brian, you know? He works at T-Mobile. I
What up,
heard
Ricky?
T-Mobile is the official
How you doing, my guy?
provider of coronaviruses around the United States with the 5G towers.
How's it going, Katie?
Hey, Katie.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're open because we've been designated. Obviously, T-Mobile's a mobile carrier, and they have like millions and millions of customers, obviously, connected across the country. We're buying Sprint right now, so now we have even more millions and millions of customers that we're adding on. And so we've been designated by the Department of Defense as an essential utility. So they've closed 80% of the locations around the country, however, have kept 20% open to deal with like emergency situations, replacing phones, you know. It's basically us hanging out in an empty store, waiting for customers to come up. When customers do come up, because people are staying inside, it's like, hey, I need my phone replaced. Hey, I need to get in touch with this. I need this replaced. I need this. I need connection. I need that. So we help them out, you know, take care of them. We're keeping distance. Not many people are allowed in the store, if any, at times. You know, it's pretty like, we're definitely minding the social distancing aspect of the whole thing. You know, we're staying clean. We're wearing gloves. I'm wearing a long sleeve sweater, and you know, we sanitize everything. We have Clorox wipes. We're wiping everything down. The customers touch little to nothing if they can. Like if they want to enter the pin themselves, they can. We fucking wipe everything down afterwards. Replace gloves every single time. I'm seeing personally 6 customers maybe a day. You know, nothing crazy. I don't feel like I'm in a position where I should be like overly concerned. I get it. People are getting it. You know, you don't want to spread it. But not many people volunteer to be like, yo, I'll work, so, and they're paying us, so
Yeah.
not too bad either. They're giving us a little bit additional because we're stepping up, so it's
A
kind
few people where I work are bailing out too right now.
I mean, dude.
I mean, we're close. We're intimate. You
are.
don't get a table between each other where I work, and we're still tattooing people. But until they shut us down, fucking tattooers are pirates, you know? We've done everything a little bit differently since tattooing became like mainstream per se. like back before it was really mainstream, before people just had to go find a tattoo shop, but I mean, we've always kind of done things a little bit differently.
I think that there's, something to be said about those of you guys that are staying in business, the hairstylists. I know a lot of places are shutting those types of establishments down.
Yeah.
Obviously, Urban Betty's like reduced their amount of people that they're taking. Becca's taken to like May 1st off. Like
Dallas just shut down tattoo shops and hair salons.
Dallas, yeah, the DFW area.
We're only a matter of time behind that.
I agree. I mean, I've been telling everybody, and I've been telling everybody on this, like, Texas does not give a fuck.
No.
Texas doesn't give a shit about any type of quarantine or
Right.
anything.
And
the only reason they're doing it is because Trump said to do it, thank God. And, like, I mean, or whatever, whoever you're going to do.
I can't do this whole thing with the mask.
Yeah, dude, let's get it off. We should be good, man. I mean, we're drinking beer. It kills your immune system.
It does. Texas really doesn't give a fuck about any of this. You still go to Walmart, or not Walmart, but Target. I don't go to Walmart, sorry. You go to Target, everybody's walking around, and, like it's not a problem at all. Everybody's touching shit.
Yeah, I got
Everybody's
customers
talking
for,
to each other.
Yeah, I got customers for a couple days asking me, what do you shut down for? What's going on? Like, if you're not concerned a little bit at this stage, you're delusional. I've been saying it this whole time. Fuck you, I'll fight you. Like,
Yeah.
You're delusional if you're not concerned.
How many people, like homeless people out there, do you think have no idea what's going on right now in Austin?
The amount of homeless people not knowing what is going on doesn't fear me. The amount of homeless people that are potentially going to get this.
Not
fear
eating
me. It
homeless,
makes me.
or them not eating. Like with all the restaurants just doing takeout orders, they're not going to get their food like they normally did, and they're going to start going crazy.
Yeah, I mean, so there's been reports in Los Angeles of homeless actually taking over abandoned homes.
See?
And you get, hey, whatever, squatting, there's squatting laws for like a reason. Granted, it's completely different than squatting, but hey man, if you can exploit the system and you're in need, and you're, able to take advantage of something like that, I why not?
Yeah.
That's where I feel like I'm just like, man, where do I help? What do I donate money? But at the same
It's not gonna
time, hey, let me be real. I'm only working because I need money.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real.
That's
And
the only reason I'm working. So.
I'm fortunate. We're fortunate enough to continue to have a position where we can kind of, call the shot. I mean, I'm not calling the shots in any way, but for my company, who I represent, they could have very well just been like, hey guys, we're closing up shop, but they're choosing to have to stay connecting people to their families, which is important, and we've completely like ditched the model of sales behaviors and shit. Like, it's all, what can I do to help you out in your situation? Hey, we're limited what we're dealing with, but at the same time, like, you're important and what you need is a value, so like, let's clearly get that out of the way.
Right.
Let's get you connected, and for the most part, we have gotten those one couple customers that are like, oh, I'm trying to upgrade phones. What do you mean it's all locked down? They like don't understand what's going on. But for the most part, people are understanding and respectful. They get it. They're also keeping a distance. I've gotten some things like, hey, thank you for being open. One, thank you for being able to like, deal with this situation that I need help with and doing it in a way that also is keeping me safe. I get it. Like, you stay in your distance. You are in a very personal setting, but again, you have people dropping out at will.
Yeah.
And like, you're also not one to like be super concerned about things like you are now. But I feel like you're not one to go.
I'm really not concerned about a lot of things in life. This is scaring the hell out of me.
It is.
Because I've never lived through anything like this. This is like a big surprise. I don't know how to handle it. At first, I thought it was the government kind of just like taking over and just gonna shut us all down, kill us off, whatever. I still think it might be partially that. But also at the same time, I've come to terms where it's just like, no, there's a fucked up sickness right now, and the only way we're gonna stop it is by staying indoors.
Do you want to talk conspiracies? We can talk conspiracies.
I'm down. I just think people need to stay away from each other and indoors, small groups. Don't do a bunch of shit you don't need to do. Don't touch people you don't need to touch.
I 100% agree. What conspiracies are? I think it's from a fucking dead animal in that stupid wet market, and that's a horrible way of living. And you got to get your shit straight, China. You got to understand that that's not healthy. And that shit like this is, I mean, I'm not at all jumping on the China virus bandwagon. Like, I'm not about that either. Fucking, although I don't think it's racist.
I don't think it's racist
That's
either.
a weird argument. Yeah, I'm not gonna jump on that bandwagon for you guys. I'm sorry. Call it whatever the fuck you want. Solve it. solve it. And here are my two gripes with that. The China virus, what the fuck ever. It came from China. Like, let's be real. In China, get your shit together, be cleaner. Like, for real. Clean up the pollution, clean up all your bullshit. Or you gotta do the same thing.
Stop eating roadkill.
Yes! Stop laying it on the ground.
Yes.
Near other animals. And not cleaning it. And not being sanitary. Oh, it's authentic. It's how they've been doing it for years. Yeah, well, guess what? It's 2020, bitch.
I'm sure possum is delicious. Y'all don't need to be fucking kidnapping and eating in little cages in the wet markets. That's disgusting.
Yes.
Dead snakes, any other roadkill that they might come across, a fox.
And that's all it is roadkill. Like, let's be real. Bats, dog, cat, fucking.
If you can touch an animal, it's in this wet
weird
market.
Fucking authentic. And I get that that's their culture and that's what they do, but at the same time, like, for as much control as China's government has over its people, you think that they would be a little bit more mindful of that. You think that they'd be more mindful of what that it could potentially cause. And most of the main shit that we've had to deal with in the past has come from fucking lifestyle.
Yep.
People have been talking about this, you know, and it's just like, come on, guys. Like, fucking come on.
I don't think the Chinese food is racist at all. I don't know, like the Chinese virus, whatever he called it. I heard it live, and I was more offended by the way he said China than calling it the Chinese virus.
My second gripe is this whole fucking, if the government approves these bills, you better not take that check if you're a fucking Democrat, because this isn't your president, and he's giving the checks. And then the other half of the people were like, you better not take those fucking checks, bro, because you didn't vote for Bernie. You wanted to fuck Bernie, fuck you, you didn't want the checks. You can't take it. Shut the fuck up. The government is trying to help. Shut the fuck up.
The government is taxing your ass on those checks.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter right now.
They're trying to help.
They're trying to help right now.
I
get it. But it's not like a lot of people think it's a free $1,000 because we're going through this problem right now.
There's nothing certain in life other than death and taxes, my friends.
You're paying taxes on that $1,000.
That's cool. Whatever.
You're gonna pay $3,000 back.
No, you're not. You're gonna get taxed your normal percentage. They're not gonna go crazy.
Maybe. I don't know what's going on here.
That I don't believe.
I'm just joking.
If that's a government conspiracy, that I do not believe. What I do believe is that China needs to get their act together. The governments need to help their fucking people, although the bills didn't pass. They're fighting over the bills.
Maybe this will help China get their shit together and have them not do these wet markets anymore. Maybe it's like, oh yeah, we got by for a long time with this bullshit, and now we should just stop and serve normal food like the rest of the world does.
Yeah, guys, come on, get it together.
Dude, I was watching a video on the wet markets, and it was showing just like giant dead pythons, foxes, possums, raccoons. Like meat, I would never really want to eat, and this is a delicacy over there, especially a bat. I'm not eating a fucking bat. Ugh.
I'm not Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, I was just about to say Ozzy Osbourne's eating some bats. He never got the corona.
He's probably immune. Watch. Of all people that aren't gonna get it, of all old celebrities that aren't gonna get it and not potentially die because their immune systems are probably not in any way, shape, or form ready to battle this kind of disease. Ozzy Osbourne is not gonna get anywhere near this virus just by the chance because of his bat DNA that's probably coursing through his veins right now.
I don't think it's going to take out any of the rock stars like Nikki Sixx or Tommy Lee. Those dudes that have been partying forever and all their insides are just shit.
It's going to take out all of them. All of them. It's not going to touch Ozzy Osbourne because he's immune to it, because he's been eating bats since day one. Everybody else can suck dick.
All these older folks are getting it, but you're not going to see Biden, Sanders, or Trump with it.
I hope, dude. Don't talk about Sanders.
I'm just saying he's an old person.
There's two things.
Don't mess up these Fight Back CBD stickers, Brian.
Oh, I apologize.
Oh shit, they're dropping all over.
No, that's okay. They fall all the time. The CBD's on there. I take it. I'll drop it in my
Here, we should just put one of these over the.
Let's do it.
There you go. There's Fight Back CBD hand sanitizer.
That they don't sell. That you cannot get 20% off of on the website. fightbackcbd.com by using the promo code CHAOS.
A lot of breweries, though, are making hand sanitizer now and giving it away for free, which is pretty badass.
Where else? A bunch of smoke shops in California did that.
Nice. I saw Dogfish Head making hand sanitizer to help out.
How's Wisconsin dealing with this nonsense you're doing in Wisconsin?
Oh, no, I'm from Illinois. Illinois is locking down. They're they're cutting off the sale of guns and alcohol. Yeah. Illinois also has over 700 cases of the coronavirus compared to our 300 and some, and it's a much smaller state.
Over 30,000 in the United States.
There you go. Look at that. Fight back CBD, knockoff, non-hand. There you go. Nice.
Actually, we're gonna. You guys all know what's Fight Back CBD. We're putting it back here though because I need it.
I'm touching stuff.
Here are my thoughts on the Chinese virus now. All right, Ivan, let's go. You can call it the China virus if you want, but you don't have to. What it creates is a negative view of Asian people, sometimes Asian Americans, because some people are very stupid and don't read, which causes to aim their anger at the only Asian thing they know, which is people. Think about it. Not everyone from these. Yes, no, I completely agree. You know, and I didn't. The reason I don't. You're right, 100%. You don't have to say it if you want to. The reason I don't think it's racist is because it's not. I don't see people going around new Chinese virus, although there have been people that have been attacked for it, and I honestly think that that's just. I mean, obviously it's ignorant. Maybe it is racist to call it the fucking China virus. You definitely don't have to call it the China virus.
But it's definitely not a politically correct 70-some-year-old man in the first place.
It's not correct. Yeah, you're right. And it's his way of deflecting because this whole mess, it's coming out that several Republicans sold their stocks because they got information about the virus from the World Health Organization weeks or into January. You know, they're talking about how the Trump administration, all their shit that they did prior to the virus coming around caused us to not be prepared, but also how they reacted to it. Like, he's under fire, so he's going to do whatever. He's snapping at journalists. He's like telling journalists, I don't like you, like point blank. And the journalists are just like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, that's always been contentious, him in the media, and it's just his way of deflecting. When, let's be real, China could be cleaner, but it's, you know, Italy's also under fire because they had this whole, like, hug a Asian thing or something. Like, it was around the time because... or somebody started it, someone started it, and people started going around hugging people.
Hold on, how did the coronavirus start? How did you hear?
The wet farms, or the wet shops.
That's what they said.
The
wet
selling
markets.
The wet
However,
markets.
have you heard the conspiracy of
that was created in the lab?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
For population control. Yes.
And they were
and who do you take out in population control? Old people.
No, but did you hear that it was made to not leave China?
Well, it left China. Trump, when he said the Chinese virus on his speech the other day, there's this lady, she's like, don't you find that racist? And he started going on about how it wasn't racist to call it the Chinese virus.
Hold on. So I have this thing here about epidemics.
So let me just quote something. Rogan and Duncan were talking about it. And they were saying how, remember, because they did the Joe Rogan Questions Everything show, where they went to the CDC in Atlanta, Georgia, and there's like safe walls to keep diseases, right, from spreading. And the guy was like, here's what we do. We basically work with any type of like infectious disease you can think of that's going to allow, you know, basically the next plague to happen. And we try to prevent that from happening. And a lot of this stuff can be man-made because it's us looking at a virus and then deconstructing it to make, you know, vaccines or what have you for it, cures for them, you know, and that's us manipulating it. So we can most definitely create like a hybrid strain and pass that along. Obviously, that's not something you want to do,
here.
right? Real quick.
Hang on a second.
And then he goes, what we do is, yes, we do fight the potential for there to be a man-made virus that could be spread throughout the world. More likely, we are going to be defending against the natural virus that emerges that is going to be the threat to humanity. We don't necessarily need to worry about what we can create because we can only create what we have. And we know what we have already. Yeah, there's some things, but we know what we have. What we're worried about is nature unleashing some things. And that's the whole thing about the ice caps melting is there's going to be viruses and diseases from thousands of years ago. They're going to be prevalent because the ice is going to melt. They're going to come back. Right? Like that's a potential.
Do you think the Earth is going to be like, you guys think you can make a virus? Here, watch this.
So check this out. So the guy, I guess, says the worst part about it is that we live in an era where both are possible. So we're really dealing with the potential for this being a man-made thing or a natural thing. But regardless of what it is, if they were to break on the news tomorrow, China made the fucking virus, the majority of the people would be shook. I'd be shook for sure. I'd be like, wow, China. But in the back of my head, in the back of my head, I would go, I'm not fucking surprised. You're fucking China. Of course I'm not surprised. Of course, if it wasn't meant to leave China, but you just wanted to control your shit, you're fucking you pollute, you're a fucking powerhouse, like, I get it. You're about, like, the fucking common good and, like, how it's just gonna make it easy and affordable for everyone, and the fucking greater, whatever. They're very utilitarian in a way, right? Like, that's at least how I imagine them. And, yeah, hey, let's kill off a bunch of people that we can because we're trying to develop this thing. I would go,
It's overpopulated.
what the fuck?
Their way of thinking is probably
It's not out of the
fucking
realm. It's not
No.
like your mind is blown and you think your world is collapsing.
Yeah.
To
Because
somebody
yes,
that's
of course
normal,
China
to
would do
somebody
that.
that's
Right.
a solution, and that's what's scary. It's like, however.
Yes, so
Guys,
my
look
buddy
at this
Ricky,
chart.
my buddy
Wait.
Ricky says the
Look.
war,
The black flag is here. This is the Spanish flu.
yeah.
I thought that was
Big.
broccoli. I thought you were showing us a food pyramid at
No,
first.
this is all.
I'll get to it,
okay,
Ricky, I
this
promise.
up here is the black flag, right? 2 million people died.
What year was that?
1347. Okay. So then you have smallpox, 1520.
13 million died? Are we at a million
200
with this yet?
No.
No, we're at like 10,000 worldwide.
Okay, we're safe.
There's 30,000
So-
cases in the U.S. There's been like 15,000 deaths.
This one, the Spanish flu, there's the
16,000.
Russian
How
flu.
that shit spread so
You guys,
fast back
there
then?
was the Asian flu and the Hong
Trade.
Kong flu.
Trade. I mean,
Oh,
think about it. There's still
trade,
millions
yeah.
of people around. You're still going intercontinentally. You're just not
Wait.
flying.
So there is an Asian flu?
There's an Asian flu that
From
was
what year?
here, 1957 and 1958. 1.1 million people died. And then the Hong Kong flu, 1 million people died in 1968 and 1970.
What about the Spanish flu?
The Spanish flu
It's
was
right under there.
1918 to 1919.
Other than the Russian flu too.
I just fucking said that.
Yeah, I didn't hear you either.
Yeah.
Because you guys were
You
talking.
didn't say anything about
Well,
Russia.
yeah, it's a fucking podcast.
I was also talking, but I was listening.
Yeah, you weren't even
But I'm
listening
here
to what
with-
you were talking about.
I'm here with the facts.
All right, so
I'm
Ricky brings up a great point.
What's up, Ricky?
He says our extinction will be over the war of fresh water. So Neil deGrasse Tyson believes that that's what we're going to be fighting
Not
over here.
listening, sweetie.
Is
Fresh
who has-
water?
is who has the resources. Yeah, fresh water, salt, shit like that.
Dude,
Shit like that.
we make people fight over toilet paper. I won't be surprised. Speaking of toilet paper, my one of my Facebook friends scrolling the other day, and they're like, got the last package of toilet paper off Amazon.
You did not, my guy.
Came from China, and it was like two rolls put together with no hole in the middle.
Fuck you, my guy.
With China packaging. I was like, I would
What's,
throw that shit away.
what's great right now is if you're on Reddit, there's a subreddit called English, and it's ENGRISH, and it's just like a bunch of labels from like makeshift products that are like translated. Like
Oh my
it'll be
God.
like computer translated, so it takes the literal translation of what's being said from language to language. You know, so it'll say some shit in English or in Spanish, and then the English translation will be like to wash hands cleaner than ass or something like that. But it's like unapparent.
Speaking of that, we should sanitize here.
Yeah, we should.
Get a good sanitization going on.
With this.
Man, I was scared about alcohol running out everywhere because I use that in every client.
No, I feel like that's true though.
Yeah. Well, okay. So apparently, if you need hand sanitizer to work and actually knock out germs, it has to be at least, from what I've read, anywhere between 83 and 90%
Mhm.
alcohol in order for it to actually eliminate most germs.
I use a 91% propylene.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
I have, I believe, an 85% ethanol.
Yeah,
It
91%.
might be propylene.
You know how it's a disgrace when you walk into a store and they only have like 70%? It does nothing.
This is 70%. So not quite the level that we want to kill these fucking corona germs.
But from what I hear about this
But I think
is
decent enough. It's been working. I mean, I don't know.
from what I heard about this is that it's such an easy virus to kill. You don't even really need antibacterial soap. You just need soap and water and like wash your shit.
Tyler, conspiracy me up, my guy. You're connected. What do you know? What do you think? I told you, man-made. Man-made's number one.
I've been telling
and if
people
you wanna
protein
go-
powders for sure.
If you want to go, to eat protein powders.
Yeah.
Are you in the chat? You're watching them doing water, rice, beans, all that other
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Nuts over here.
I have to refresh it in order for it to.
Yeah, my phone's charged.
I don't know, but yeah, I agree with the protein powders.
I feel that there's a fuck protein powders. I don't know what I was gonna say. So
I'm just saying for like the longevity, if there is no food to get, if you can't go get meat, you still have like a good protein source. With
Ricky,
protein
are you
powders.
not? Are you not? Okay, we were talking conspiracies. Tyler, I'll get back to the conspiracies. I promise.
He says he doesn't know any.
Ricky, are you eating those things because you're just staying cooped up? Are you working? What's going on with you, man? Text me if you want. You don't have to fucking put it on in here. Text me, please, though, or I'll text you. My phone's over there. I'll get it and I'll text you. But I'm gonna try to go to Costco or to the grocery store tomorrow. I know most grocery stores out here, at least, are limiting to like 15, 20 people in at a time. Arlen's, like, which is in our neighborhood right here, is just like fucking super overpriced, but it's a fucking grocery store, so we're hitting it because there's not ever that many people in it to begin with.
Dude, I've been at Sprouts.
Sprouts, right? Trader Joe's, I imagine, it's probably packed as fuck because it's Trader Joe's, but fuck me.
That's hipster.
Yeah.
Does Trader Joe's really have food or just snacks?
No, Trader Joe's is a fucking grocery store.
Right, but they have a lot of like snacks.
I mean, they're like they might be a scale smaller than Sprouts.
Right.
They have a produce section.
I like Sprouts.
They've got it all.
Sprouts is my shit lately. They're stocked up on the produce.
I can't imagine fucking Whole Foods. That's not like fucking blue though. Saying that.
Whole Foods isn't bad.
Central Market has like all the Honor products, right? So I wanted to go
Yeah.
pick some of those up. So I don't have to go
I
all the way
forget
to
about
fucking
Central
town.
Market.
I love Central Market. Central
Sprouts
Market's
has-
the shit, but it also can be kind of expensive. But it's also cheaper in like a lot of areas. Like their produce is fucking super fire, and you can get some really good produce. You can like dragon fruits and shit, which you can't get anywhere else.
Sprouts and Whole Foods both have Honor products.
Well, I haven't to be honest. I've been to Sprouts twice. So.
Sprouts is good. You're missing out. You should go there a third time.
I'll bring you another one.
Yeah, Trader Joe's I haven't been to in a long time. We used to go a lot more because she works over at the Renaissance. So what do you got going on, man? Designing fucking merch for future kimonos.
Yes.
Big flex.
Big flex.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how to
That's
flex
right.
like that.
Alex
That's
Asad,
pretty cool.
co-host of the fucking podcast we're doing right now.
Right now?
This guy right
Hey.
here,
That's
working
me.
class violence member,
Drawing all the time.
who's a fucking tattoo artist, phenomenal tattoo artist, fucking designing for future kimonos. That's right, motherfuckers.
Just lucky. Got lucky. Message him some ideas.
But you know what luck is? Preparation meets opportunity.
It is.
And he's
So,
been fucking prepared because he's a phenomenal fucking artist, and you have an opportunity because he's a motherfucker.
you know, you just have to ask sometimes.
Just me going on.
Sometimes I ask stuff and I don't prepare for a yes, and I get a yes, and I'm like,
Works
Oh,
like
shit.
that, people. All
Yeah.
I gotta do is a little bit of effort, just a little bit.
dude, I used to ask people if I can have shit all the time, and they would give me stuff that I really didn't want. And I would tell them that, like, no, I was just joking. Like, if I asked you, hey, can I have this bottle of hand sanitizer? And you're like, yeah, I really don't want it. I still just, like, test you and be like, can I have this? So many people give me random shit because of that. Like, they just, like, look at it and like, oh, yeah, here you go. So I asked if I can design some stuff. They were open to it. They liked my work. And now I'm still designing stuff. It's pretty awesome.
Sounds like you were fucking assertive. Sounds like you went to them and said, hey, man, I'm gonna take a shot in the dark over here. But
Yeah,
I
pretty
just
much.
so happen to want to design some shit for you. I also do jiu-jitsu. I'm a purple belt, if you want to fucking check it out.
I'm a purple belt.
I fucking win some tournaments from time to time. I'd go double gold every now and then at Naga. No big deal.
Win
No
some,
big
lose some.
deal. Let me draw your shit because I'm good at it. Of course.
It's cool seeing my name next to Gordon Ryan's on a shirt for sale. Now it's like, holy shit, that's my name.
Tyler Lance just came through with a Iran's supreme leader says U.S. charlatans. Once again, let me repeat that because I fucked it up the first time. Charlatans may have created COVID-19.
Yeah, Ryan's blaming us hard for this.
All right, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. I'm not even gonna try. Ali Khamenei's outburst came during a televised speech about the crisis, during which he branded it strange that America would offer to help while it struggles with the crisis.
Wait.
Whoa.
I think I found my drink.
I'm not surprised that Iran is coming out this way, but see, this almost seems like
We did just bomb them.
this almost seems common.
Yeah.
Of course, Iran would blame us. China is like, we're not even mad at China. China's being totally cool too, by the way, because they just gave a bunch of fucking doctors to Italy to help Italy because Italy's being ravished by this. So fucking China helped Italy. Fuck you. All right, China's doing phenomenal right now, and apparently they're on the come up. Fucks with me.
Conspiracy theories, I heard that was all fake.
What?
That China just come up. I was reading some article that it was fake. I don't know if the article is fake or not.
Let's find this out. We're gonna find this out. I just don't want to. But we are gonna find this out. Goddammit.
All right,
I'm not surprised that Iran is blaming us.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that either. I haven't heard anything about the coronavirus being in the Middle East yet, and now I'm looking it up.
It is.
Definitely
It is in Iran. It is in the Middle East for sure.
I'm worried about
Coronavirus
Africa.
is the first wave of what will become an enslaved nation hell-bent on taking over all land possible. Like China, are you talking about test studies to see how the population will react to pandemic events, depopulation, release of coronavirus? I also don't trust Iran. They shoot down passenger planes. Yeah, they do, Tyler. Very good call out.
They do.
Very good call out. Yes, Ricky. Possibly. Yeah. Here's what I think is really happening, my guy. I think that this is really nature. I don't think that China is trying to depopulate. Although I do think that if they did create the virus, that's plan number 2. If they created the virus, what are the 3 reasons? I'm gonna put this in here. See if anybody wants to answer. Ready? If I can fucking type. What are the 3 reasons China would create the virus? Number 2 is depopulation.
Yeah.
What's number 1 and 3?
It's not going to be good for economy.
No, fuck no.
We gave her face creaming and then we highlighted her face.
That's a good question.
The Illuminati, what is that? Okay,
I'm taking them out of this picture.
listen, and here's why I'm taking out the picture. The Illuminati is not some covenant or some group of people that are trying to take over the world, okay? Rule number 1 of being, it's like rule number 5 of being one. The Illuminati is the illusion of the system, like of how the government was founded on the simple rules and morals of like the Constitution. However, the simple morals and the rules of the Constitution are structured in a way that they can be manipulated, and the people in power manipulate them, and that's how this thing goes, right? So it's not like a constructed manipulation, but it is almost a obvious manipulation. Like, well, it's there. There's good or bad. Are you going to manipulate the system or no? There are people that manipulate the political system and the government system. There are people that don't. It's either or. Okay, so there's not like a secret group that's out to destroy the world. So I don't think that the Illuminati created the fucking coronavirus. However, I do feel that if there was a creation of the coronavirus, it was for some sort of depopulation.
Yes.
China is very populous. China has a shit ton of fucking people. Over 100 million in the military alone. They've got a lot of fucking people. They probably future-minded, looking to the future, possibly having to put people on Mars because the planet's fucked. Hey, we can't support as many people as we have. We're going to have to take them out. We're going to have to drop these numbers just to be a little bit more supportive. What better way to do that than young children who don't have anything going for them yet because they're so young and they're just statistical properties at this point, and old people. Again, they're old. They live long lives. They've had it so great. In China,
Especially
families.
the Chinese old people.
Yes, China is very tight-knit. They're very family-oriented. They're very communicative. They're very, there's such a tight-knit family culture there. And there's an honor to being the elder, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't kill them.
I
Now
don't know.
that I think about it, maybe you don't kill them.
Do people normally have lung issues in China? Are they big smokers?
Smokers and men
Yeah.
are like 60% more likely to catch this than non-smokers and women. There's some weird statistic like that.
How do you test
All I
run?
can live is what?
How do you test run these sicknesses? Like, do they just give it to one of the people that work in the lab and it's like, okay, you got kind of sick, your lungs got fucked up, we'll drop this on people. Again, how do you drop it on people? Do you just send somebody out with it into the wild and hope they start spreading it?
I mean, how do you spell Nietzsche? Do you know? Right off the top of your head, probably no.
No, I don't. I don't think I've ever spelled Nietzsche.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, repeat yourself one more time.
How do you start spreading this? Like, if they did make it right, there had to be test runs on this shit. They didn't get it right the first try. So did they have a bunch of guinea pigs just getting sick and dying? And then they're finally like, okay, this person seems all right. They still seem like kind of flu-y, but they more so seem like they have like a bad cough, maybe bronchitis, and then we'll send them out and hopefully they start coughing on shit and spreading this? Or how do you go about spreading it? Do you just drop a fucking gas bubble of coronavirus on somebody?
So Tyler puts if they want a depopulation, why only a couple thousand deaths? Which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is the first run.
Yeah.
You know, why do you only kill 1,000 people, and how do you do a test run?
A lot of people got cured from it, but that doesn't mean it's not going to come back and fuck them up longer. So that, like, the longer it's in their body.
Becca's mom is a nurse, and her mom's boyfriend is a lung doctor. Okay.
Money couple. I said money couple.
Yeah. And so they both think that probably close to 80% of the population is going to get this.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They both think that. And they're in Yucca Valley, who just had their first case. Okay, the hospital that Becca's mom works at has like 5 hospital beds inside the ICU, or some crazy low number like that, because it's a small population community. But Palm Springs alone already has 2 deaths. It's an old populated community. That's all it is old people. Old people and retirees. That's all it fucking is. You know? And if you're going to do a test run, and you're going to create a virus, common sense is it's going to attack the immune system. Well, who has weak immune systems? The young and the old. You're not going to help it. You put it out there. It takes what it takes. There's a good percentage of people that have immune deficiencies that are being affected by this, you know. But if you're going to create a virus and that's what it's meant to attack is the immune system, you're going to put it out there. You're going to get the depopulation anyways.
Do you know what an ultrasonic is?
What? Like an ultrasound?
No, an ultrasonic. It's what you put surgical tools in. And it kind of shakes. It's a liquid in there. You fill it with distilled water and a cleaner. We used to put our tattoo tubes in there. When I still tattoo, it's like a machine, like we had a metal tube. Then we had to clean those things and sterilize them. So we'd put them in an ultrasonic, and it would sit there for like 30 minutes. And the shops I worked at never put a lid on them, so it was just these bloody tubes full of ink stirring up and kind of like raising, and we'd be sitting there pouring them out, scrubbing them. We never wore a face mask or anything. I think most tattooers will be okay. I haven't seen one tattooer post like, shit, got the coronavirus yet. I think we're all pretty much immune to it from how like close and clean we are. That like we've been around this stuff for so long. We're making people bleed and we're breathing it in. You see my clothes sometimes, they're full of fucking ink. Of course I have people's blood on me sometimes. But these ultrasonics and then scrubbing all these tubes, like particles in the air, they just float up after cleaning them. Like, especially no lid on this thing, it's like a metal box that just cleans shit by bringing it up. I don't know, they're pretty gross. I
mean, I can't,
super gross.
We were talking about Ozzy Osbourne being immune. I'd see a lot of people, man, and I don't know. I see the risk in it, and I understand why they want the social distancing and why they want people to kind of kick back. And I'm glad that people are at least respected in a sense. You understand how fragile like that chain of life is, where you do have an elder person and someone that you were afraid to go to Wisconsin, so fucking Jami didn't get her dad.
Yeah,
you guys didn't get.
I'm bummed about that.
And you guys don't get your family, and yeah, I
can't
go to California. Yeah, same thing, man. Like I don't fucking want to get sick. That'd be fucking awesome. But the very fact that we're even as a fucking group, and when I say a group, I mean like the world, experiencing something that is, at the very least, it's causing us to look at ourselves as like an entity, as like a thing, and how we spread our filth, or our footprint, or whatever you want to call it, And I've never been so clean. I've never been so mindful of my cleanliness. I've never been so
Before
not
this,
not judgmental, but it's when customers ask me why are you locked down, it's almost like, well, why? What? You don't know?
Yeah.
And if you don't know, then the first thing that you need to know is cleanliness. And
dude,
I live in a town where many people have to clean this. I don't know.
I don't want to be tattooing right now. It's scary to me. But the fact that I have to be tattooing is like enough. But the fact that I make people wash their hands down before they come back to my station, they look at me like I'm a fucking nutcase. I'm like, all right, you can come on back, but wash your hands first, and you're gonna wear a mask. And they look at me like I'm a crazy person. For them not wanting to wash their hands, I just watched you walk outside and smoke a cigarette. Go wash your fucking hands. Nobody thinks about it. Like washing their hands is in a public place. It's sad, and they touch everything.
There's a decency level. There's and again, I've never been more wanting to know like how my health or not my health, but I guess how my filth or my hygiene could be transmitted, right? And
Right.
like I'm understanding what I'm touching, I'm understanding what other people are touching, how dirty my phone is. Like I'm sanitizing my phone.
Dude, disinfecting my phone all the time now.
Dude, like how have I never done this before?
I've done
How
it.
have I never cleaned? I mean, yeah, I've cleaned my phone.
Yeah.
But I clean my phone when I'm like, fuck, my screen is dirty, and it's like got a bunch of shit on
Where you
it, or
see
like,
that you have
or
to
if I've
clean
been
it.
at jujitsu and I've been touching it, it's got the sweat streaks and all this
Yeah.
grossness. Like, yeah, then I clean it. I'm cleaning my phone every day.
Yep.
Every day I'm wiping my phone down a couple times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wash my hands before I eat. Every fucking time before I eat. And I'm just like, fuck, dude. What have I just been putting in my mouth? Burgers. I'm just sucking shit off my fingers.
How many people walk into a restaurant and order wings or a burger and not once use the bathroom before they have to pick the shit up with their hands and eat? French fries.
Oh,
A whole handful of French fries, chips,
I'm
everything.
I'm grabbing my phone and my topo, keeping them in the tank for 2
Oh,
seconds. Do you
shit.
need anything?
I don't need anything.
Before I go, though, I must say that this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Fight Back CBD, Team Fight Back.
Team Fight Back.
FightBackCBD.com, 20% off your order by using promo code CHAOS.
Promo code chaos. Yeah, people are dirty out there in the world, and it's kind of sad. I wash my hands all the time. I wash myself all the time before, after jiu-jitsu, and you just have to be clean. Nobody wants you to walk around being dirty. I mean, there's some hippies out there that love to be dirty. Go be it. Awesome for you, but just like try not to interact with that many people and just wash your hands. Like, keep it clean, be cool, and everything should work itself out. What? No, thank you, not yet. But yeah, just be clean. It's not that hard. You know, it takes 5-10 minutes to shower. It takes 20 seconds to wash your hands, and it's something that people can't get their hands around. And if anything, this is natural selection, and people just, I don't know. Hopefully, this opens up people's eyes and makes people a little bit cleaner out there. Because without cleanliness, we're all going to be dirty, sick, dead, whatever it be, you know?
No. Alex.
Jamie.
Julia doesn't want to hug you and say her goodbyes, though, because she's moving.
Oh, you're moving.
I felt like I'm dying.
All right, guys. I'll be right back. Wait, I have to hug somebody with coronavirus?
Yeah. Alex, don't. Don't make rumors. Huh? I'll probably be back next week. Okay. Or is it all?
I'll entertain.
No!
It's me. I'm here to save the
You
day
know,
while Julia gives
I'll
hugs
probably never see you again.
in a non-coronavirus friendly.
I mean, I'm not going to College Station.
What?
Here's
You
Jamie
won't come?
over there. She's
I'll
No, I'll
in.
come.
Brian's over there. Alex
You
is over there.
come?
I don't know how this
No, you won't
conversation's
come to
going
my house.
because I'm not
You're
sure.
at College Station?
But
It's so
I'm gonna check
weird.
one second.
Hey, are the Dixie
Can I
Chicks
get my
from
house real
there?
quick? Social distancing though.
How many?
Are the Dixie Chicks from College
I'll go visit
Station?
you in College Station.
I saw a bumper sticker that said Dixie Chicks.
Oh, wait a minute. Hi, Katie.
Camp in my backyard.
That was probably their tour.
There we go.
Camp in the
The
backyard.
girls are loud in the background. Sorry, Tyler.
Oh,
We
I
have
need to make
friends.
all the rest of
Intermission.
jujitsu?
What's up, Dale and a doll? Hi, guys.
She can drop it off.
Sorry, I'm like. I don't mean to be.
Hey, congratulations.
Thanks. It is. We have hand sanitizer.
I'm actually hand sanitizer. Oh, 12 people now. Hello, guys. Okay, so now it's officially the
Gross.
working class violence / tired girls club sleepover. I'll get this computer.
Here we
out.
are.
It's a sleepover. I didn't know.
Wait.
Crossover. Sorry, sleepover. Whatever. Crossover. We're quarantined.
I love you.
Bye, Julia.
Bye, Julia.
You know another problem with this hand sanitizer is that only people only use it on the bottom of their hands.
I go all over.
I go all over.
I don't know. People like us.
So, working class violence, tired girls club crossover. We don't have to keep talking for long.
Hold on. No, we're absolutely not talking coronavirus anymore.
Working class
Hey,
tired
guys.
girls.
Working class
Ryan,
girls.
you were
Working
going to
class. Working girls.
working class what?
Working girls.
Classy
That
girls.
just makes me think about
I don't know about class.
hookers.
Oh,
And
Brian.
clubs.
Am I doing this?
Yep,
No,
I just
Brian's
kinda
gonna
have
pick
to
a
let it-
card.
Let it do its thing, right?
absolutely.
Yeah, I dropped out
Katie
Stingray
says-
for the United States
Katie's-
earlier.
Katie says, Jamie, here.
Hi, Katie.
We'll be part of here. Use this for chatting if you
Oh,
like.
perfect. I'll take care of the chat.
While we're doing the
Take care
tarot
of the
cards, what do you
James,
guys
take
want
over
to
the
talk
chat.
about?
Yeah, what would you guys?
Whatever you guys want to
about?
talk about, the girls are going to get in on the chat.
I wish I could see more, but I guess that's not.
I'm delayed.
Who's Seymour?
Here, I have this.
No. Here, watch. I'm
What?
innovative. Hold on. Take this. You don't have to stop talking.
Wait, but Brian's got to pick a card.
Okay.
I'm
well,
trying to
pick a
let the card find me.
Oh.
let the card find you.
What are you
Yeah,
doing?
that's okay. I think we should elevate.
You want
Oh,
me to put it on the mixer?
Oh,
Yeah, so that you can
the
see
microphone
better.
is, we can't see our faces.
Oh, in the middle of the show, let's just redirect the
yeah.
fucking
Let's
camera
rechange.
positioning. Let's just fucking interrupt the whole feed so we can get a different angle.
No.
As if we haven't been doing this fucking for an hour.
No, the Pancho Puma's here.
Here we go.
What are we doing? Pancho Puma's here.
No, I need more though. Here, give me
Hold on, I
that.
have to pee.
We literally have an entire bookshelf right by your legs.
No, I don't need another book. Just
There's
There's not a book, it's a box.
I don't need the book.
Here, let's put the box on it.
Now it's-
Oh, it needs a
No.
box.
More.
See?
It's a box. That's better.
Yeah, perfect.
That's better, everyone, right?
Perfect. The Pancho Puma's in here and
it's
Tyler's sleeping. Tyler, wake up. I don't even know Tyler.
Okay, that's better. You're welcome, everyone.
We're in it.
There you go.
Hey,
We're
guys.
here.
Hope that was okay.
Yeah, of course, because now
We're
we
back.
can see a little bit better.
We're back. We're here.
Okay, well, did you choose my card?
The
Vulture.
Dang, a
Of course
vulture
it is.
tattoo. Sick.
Vultures hang out around our neighborhood.
Yeah, they hang around dead things too.
I
Yeah.
miss you, a doll.
Aw, miss you, baby.
Dude,
What's
a
up,
dog.
people? What's
I
up,
feel like I
people?
haven't seen you in forever.
I rolled them on fucking secret net.
Stop rubbing it in. I want to roll with a doll. A little Pancho Puma chocolate milk.
He wants to rub you.
Yeah, dude. I want to
So,
sweat
what do
on
we got with
you.
vulture?
So the vulture. You have to show vulture.
Ooh, show and
I
tell.
hope these aren't flat. They're not. No, this one was good.
Okay.
Yours was good, right?
Mine was good.
I got it from Sunrise.
Guardian and purifier, essential for rebalance. The vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. This intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. What do you know? It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance.
Wow.
Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. When in balance, clarifies and reveals wisdom. When out of balance, dramatic and aggressive.
Balance.
To bring into balance, clean your space and sage.
Sage.
Ooh.
We got-
Sage.
Sage.
Fun fact, Jamie and I got the vulture for our daddy issues episode.
Dude,
Oh.
the fact that it mentions disease has me shook, and then balance, of course.
And-
It's comic chaos.
And I heard that women like men like their fathers, and the fact that she drew that card for her father and you picked it is
For the
kind of
daddy issues.
ironic.
It is. And you know what? He and my dad are both Virgos.
There you go.
Virgo
There we
power.
go.
Juggalos.
Hey, shout out to fucking JD Manley, man. I hope. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh shit, Katie's shook.
Katie, when aren't you shook? Love you. To be fair, we're all shook. I'm pretty shook.
Oh
most of the time.
no.
You know what's weird waking up? Because when you check you guys normally wake up. I don't know what you do, but I fucking check my phone. And normally, like,
I got a dolphin.
news articles are
You
pretty
did?
bad or whatever. Like, oh shit,
Yeah.
this stuff happened in the United States. But now it's just like, you check your phone hoping that you can still walk outside.
Tyler used to think these cards were BS, and you know what? We're proving that they are not, in fact.
So here's my thing, Tyler. Here's my thing. What you just saw, the fact that it says disease and is like very descriptive, the vulture card, right? Playing into the narrative of what's going on. Absolutely. I like that.
Yo,
Who got the vulture?
Before we did this, I picked the, what card did I get?
Nightingale.
No, the other one. The first one.
Oh, the
one I
one
picked for
for
the
the
United
United
States.
The stingray.
Oh yeah,
Stingray.
he like dedicated his shit to the card. Can I do that? Can I go now and do that?
Hold on, I got
Can
one.
we read what the stingray was? I picked that.
I want to
I
dedicate
picked
my
that
shit.
for the United
I want to
States.
dedicate my shit to the people, cause I'm here to fucking help cure disease.
Do you want me to?
With my mustache.
Can you stop?
All right, guys. I picked
I'm fucked up.
the stingray card for the
I'm
United
here to
States.
rein this in.
Yeah, Becca's here. Capricorn
Take it away,
energy
Becca.
says,
Hi,
shut
the
the fuck up.
stingray. Hello. Back on track here. Stingray, Alex pulled this card for America. It says, developing confidence, sense of self, or spine.
We're building a spine.
We're trying. The stingray card represents a pivotal point in personal growth. The moment has come when the stingray must decide between the old, easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. Pressure from family and friends makes the decision even more complicated. No matter what choice is made now, it's inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again, as the force of Dharma growing within the stingray is too strong to ignore. I did personally feel some pressure from my family and friends whether I was going to continue working or not, and I feel like that's a pressure that's on a lot of people right now. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, these people are staying home. What's everybody doing? Are we gonna follow this flow or not? You know?
I think people are crazy when they walk into a tattoo shop still wanting a tattoo. I look at them like, you want to be like, I've turned away 3 neck tattoos since this started happening because I don't want to be mouth to mouth with a stranger. I think it's
Ankle
weird.
tattoos
That's
only.
Yeah, like ankle somewhere on your leg. At least if you're 6'4", I'm still 6 feet away from you. Like we're
6
we're
feet
going good.
only. If you're
Yeah.
6 feet tall, you're the only person that is qualified to get a tattoo.
This guy is blowing up the hearts.
How can I control
Who?
anxiety in this time that we are spending? Xanax, call my
No.
mom. My
Or-
mom's
Not Xanax.
A
Yes.
doll, you can take Fight Back CBD.
Yes.
Wow,
There
Ari!
it
Ari!
helps control my anxiety, my depression.
Honestly, yeah, a doll. I have a bottle for you if you want one.
Yeah.
The CBD does definitely help with anxiety. Shout out to Katie Lance, who's also in the chat because she knows very much a lot about that because she fucking was freaking out.
But
the
can
other
we
day.
talk about
They had
taking
straight
maybe CBD and then once the CBD kicks in, like meditating?
Yeah,
'Cause I
let's
feel
talk
like
about
meditating is definitely like the only
Meditation.
reason why I'm not freaking the fuck out.
Let's hear it.
So,
Go.
There's
I,
proof CBD is crazy helping, says Katie.
Yeah,
Sorry, go for
absolutely.
it.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Like, I smoke weed because of anxiety. So somebody who maybe doesn't smoke weed would benefit from CBD. And I feel like even somebody as someone who like partakes in marijuana recreationally could probably benefit from CBD as well. There's just so many benefits as far as like just relaxing you in general, just as far as your body goes. I feel like a lot of people hold tension in their body.
All right.
What are you doing?
Yeah, because now you're off
'cause
camera,
now we
my
can
guy.
now we can see us.
I'm
But
so
you're off
much more
camera.
comfortable being like this.
No, you gotta get in the shot.
You gotta
I
get
can't
in.
do
You have
this.
to
I
be-
can't
you
do
have
this
to be in
solo.
it.
I'm sorry.
This
Just
coronavirus
try not to cover
episode.
Jamie. There you go.
Oh, I
Perfect.
don't care if you
Boom.
cover me up.
No, we're in it.
No, it can't cover
There we
you
go.
up.
We're
But I
all
think
involved.
meditation and mindfulness is something worth looking into.
Katie says that CBD
Well-
is crazy helping, and meditation and CBD, THC is keeping her alive through this.
Can we talk about the
See?
CBD for real quick? Okay,
Yeah.
so the reason that, or not this, just the
You got
CBD
it,
alone,
you got
but the meditation, whether it be getting high finding your zone,
Mine.
getting in your zone, fucking smoking a joint and tripping out and just fucking being in your head, whatever it may be. I think the importance of being mindful in these situations, and I'm not condoning going and getting a high in your apartment either. I'm just we're talking about CBD and we're high, and I think that it's just convenient that it helps you to be more mindful if you get a little stoned. But you don't have to get stoned. I'm just saying you have to be mindful
I feel like
during
people
what's
should
going
probably
on.
get stoned.
But we
And
can.
some people
but
freak
if
the
you
fuck
don't
out.
feel
Yeah,
so.
and you know what?
But
I was talking to
if you don't feel
Stranger.
comfortable with it, CBD is like the next best
Yeah.
thing.
Yes, and that's the thing. CBD doesn't get you high, and CBD allows you to relax a little bit, and it does relax your body. It relaxes your joints if they're sore. I talk about it all the time. I know we're not really doing reads, but fucking the CBD is phenomenal. It helps with anxiety, it helps with stress, inflammation in your joints, muscles. Me and Alex use it religiously after we train. It's great. And if you don't want to get high, it's perfect because that's what it does without getting you high.
You know
People
how
hold
the
tension and
mindfulness
anxiety
thing-
in their bodies as like, I don't know, they hold on to all of that tension, and that anxiety
Yeah.
manifests in
Yeah.
like that tension.
You know how Alpha Brain is like Adderall
Yeah.
in like a really dumbed down version?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel CBD is to
And
Xanax.
Yeah, yes.
I don't see a weed effect. I see complete Xanax effect where
Yeah.
you really don't give a
Carefree.
fuck.
You're carefree.
Somebody's like, you watch a car blow up next to you and you're like, sucks to be that guy, and you go about your day.
I'm not too sure about that.
I mean,
Well, I
I
mean-
feel like it did. Yeah, exactly.
Perfect excuse. To the mindful portion, I feel like during this time, me and Alex were just talking about it before you guys moved, you have to be mindful. I'm washing my hands a lot more. I'm fucking realizing how much I touch my face, my eyes, my hands, how much when I eat, I'm like sucking my fingers and just how gross it is.
We're
Like,
finally forced to be
I
present
miss
with
foods.
ourselves.
Wow. I'm
which is like a crazy
disgusting.
thing.
I am fucking gross as shit.
It took Corona for him to figure it out.
It took Corona for a lot of people to figure out.
Ricky thinks that this is stage one and some shit that's about to get real. That's his conspiracy. He's like, hey, I think that it's fucking
It's not a
stage one.
conspiracy though, like it could be true.
Yeah, I
Well, yeah, that's.
don't
I mean,
disagree.
hey,
If
conspiracy
that-
theories have been proven before. That's why you have to label it as that until you know for fact that's what it is. We can't sit here and go, hey guys, this is man-made without knowing it's
But
really
I
not.
Adult.
do
Right now,
like-
it comes
You
from a
can
wet
try
market.
CBD, but try Fight Back CBD.
Yes.
Don't go buy
I
CBD
got
from
you.
a gas
I got you.
station.
No,
That
no.
shit's not
I got
real.
I
They can
literally
buy
have
that in masses from a big company in China.
the next dark mat.
Don't
this
buy
bottle,
China CBD at all.
This bottle. I have
Yes,
bottles.
right
I have
there.
bottles.
There's a
Just laying
bottle
around.
for
This
you.
is for
Fight Back
This is
CBD.
for you.
Don't buy bullshit from a gas station.
Hashtag. Yeah, I'm gonna connect you and we don't even have
Don't
to.
buy
Justin,
bullshit
Justin
from
is
a
gonna
gas
fucking.
How many
Yeah.
random, like, you see CBD at Walgreens, at HEB, at gas stations all over? You never see the same brand twice.
There's CBD stores that specifically sell. Who the fuck knows what kind of CBD is?
They sell Kratom and CBD. I'm talking about straight.
I ain't touching it.
Now you're touching Kratom at all.
Remember when I took
Oh,
Kratom?
shit.
I'm gonna
And I
get
was
the
stuck on
No,
the couch
I
until
did try.
past salon
What?
close,
Yeah,
and I had to
yes,
cancel all
I
my
did tell
clients
you.
for the rest of the day,
There's a
and
guy
I was
who-
in the middle of the client. And I had
Well,
to
maybe
cancel.
let's talk about it off of this.
No, I've talked about it several
Well,
times on this. I've
dude.
talked about it with Matt. I know a guy who does jiu-jitsu at 10th Planet who opened up a ketamine therapy facility. And
Of
he
course,
wants to
10th
come on the
Planet
show.
will do this.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, it's not 10th Planet. No.
No, I'm associating Death Planet.
But I was going to ask you, do you know what's going on with that? Okay. All right. That's fine. We don't have to wait.
No, I'm
What else do you guys
curious.
want to talk about? Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Janie just got the lizard.
I got the
What's that
lizard.
mean?
Um,
I'm not a lizard.
instinctual, sensitive to the subtle, and a dreamer. The
No,
lizard is an
she's such a dreamer.
expert in the realm of sensory perception. As if it has a sixth sense, the lizard hears what is yet to be spoken and sees what is yet to manifest. Although this is an amazing gift, it can easily wear the lizard down. Big crowds, lots of travel, or overstimulation will drain a lizard of their magical essence. This card is an indication to pull back from the bright lights and big city and return to the inner artist who's been whispering your name.
Oh, little whispering artist. You little whispering
I didn't
artist.
listen to anything. I was too busy waiting to be
Yeah,
I talk.
you did great.
Hey, do you ever go on do512.com?
Yeah, all the time.
All the time. Have you been on there
Austin-
recently?
Oh.
No,
It
me and
says you gotta
Trent
go
used to have to go on there all
Go
the
on
time to
Saturday.
try and get
Yes.
events.
Yeah. Well, right now,
Perfect.
I was
Oh my
going on
God,
there,
it's like you're doing.
not this moment, but like during all
Creative
this,
project.
and it's a list of all online streaming gigs
Creative
and
project.
shows that people are doing.
Really?
We'll
It's
figure it
super
out.
cool right now. So
You
if
really
you guys
like your
are
tea.
What
bored,
is it?
do 512.com.
And it's showing. No, but what's it showing?
It's showing all online streams, like concerts,
That's what it's supposed to taste like.
people putting on shows, so whatever it be. Like
We're going to it right now.
Catfish or Low Cut Connie or whatever was playing an online show, and it's just all things going on online right now.
No,
It
you're
says
totally
the time that
right.
they're starting, and it's pretty rad.
I don't know. Do you have a full one?
Yeah.
I don't know who's
Like it still shows events on there,
that's fine.
but all
Which one?
online.
This one?
Oh yeah, that is cool.
You've
Sophie
never been on
Tucker.
2512?
No, but they're doing live streams. So like all the
Oh,
shows that
cool.
are still going on that there's no attendees, they're doing streams for, or maybe there are attendees but they got moved or some shit.
Ew, birth hour.
Ew, fuck.
Sick.
Childbirth classes. Oh.
See, who doesn't want to take childbirth classes right now?
Who doesn't?
You're all stuck at home. What if you're going into labor? You're not going to go take that fresh baby to a hospital. You're going to deliver in the comfort of your own bathtub.
Wait,
Shout out to Hassan Minaj for having his baby.
Oh, I
Wait,
thought you were
but everybody takes birthing classes when you're pregnant.
but online.
You don't have a choice right now.
Exactly. You can't go to the hospital either
Yes, you can.
because the baby's going to get the corona. That baby has no immune system.
It has its mom's immune system.
Hey, what are these babies going to be called in 9 months?
Coronis, duh.
Corona.
What?
Gross.
Oh my god.
They're gonna be a bunch of
Steven.
Sagittarians though, and Becca doesn't care for them. So
No.
Becca's about
Oh,
Becca's about
God
to hate a whole bunch of
damn it.
corona generation.
Flatback CBD hand sanitizer. Not officially a Flatback CBD product, however, they do have promos.
We need a sponsor.
I'm scared for those mamas too. You know what else I'm scared for, Katie?
Will you take a sticker for 5?
Yeah, I'm scared for
Well, we
Africa.
tried the summer moon.
For what?
Africa.
No, Africa has some of the lowest cases. Her parents just came from Egypt.
Right, but it's starting to spread in Africa, and they don't have the means to take care of the problems that they have right now.
A malaria drug is being fast-tracked because they believe that it'll have effects against coronavirus. So Trump did it, and a couple other people are doing it. Malaria. So there's malaria.
Is Africa
drug.
doing it?
I mean, I'm assuming that there's
I'm sorry, what's
communication
malaria?
probably. Malaria is prevalent in Africa, causes you to also get ill, like the flu. However, when it hits at its worst, you start bleeding from your orifices because your organs just start decaying. Yeah.
What mom wants
Malaria
to
is
have a
tough.
baby alone?
Malaria is what happens to you when you go to Africa and get bitten on
Oh,
mosquito.
shit.
Mosquitoes carry malaria, hence why you have to get a malaria shot when you travel and visit Africa.
Wait.
Katie
what?
says Africa is having locust swarms right now.
Africa is having locust storms. I don't want to talk about end times, but we can talk about end times.
Whoa, that is fucking
Segue.
some end time
Whoop,
shit.
Segue
though.
and revelation.
See, that's kind of where
Locust fucking
I
storms
don't
happen
think
all the
this
time.
Yeah.
is man-made.
It's like
though.
second nature,
Guys,
like
I
a
don't
locust swarm. I
think-
It's
ain't
nature. It's not
Whatever.
second
I
nature.
don't
just
think
use
this is
your
man-made.
trailer park karate and
The
take care of
universe
that
did
shit.
it.
A bunch of fucking fly swatters, dude.
You guys are ridiculous.
If you have fast hands, those locusts can't touch you.
I think
First of
it's
all,
end
if
time
it's end
shit.
times, I can't acknowledge it. You understand that, like, when I think about death and decay and, like, my last days, it's always in, like, an apocalyptic kind of manner.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're manifesting this.
Like, the end of the
That's good,
world,
Brian.
right?
You can stop manifesting it.
I'm not trying to manifest.
But
I'm just
you
like,
are.
I
Hey,
don't want to die in a boring ass way. I want to die in a fucking dope way.
Hey,
Right?
6
Like,
months
you know
ago,
what?
my
I want to live
coworkers
forever.
we're
I want to
playing
get the shower. It makes you live forever.
My
I feel like I'm
coworkers-
comfortable.
I just have
We're
some
playing
very
a game
small goals that I
6
wanna
months
hit
ago.
before I die.
Called what?
Like,
I forgot the
Cereal
name
in
of
my
it.
mouth?
you know,
No,
you-
they were
you
playing
want
this game on
things,
their
you know what I mean?
iPhones, and
A little bit further.
you
Oh,
had
where it
to,
talked about
Maybe
diseases.
10 years.
Spreading, right?
you had to spread a disease across the
I
world.
will.
Yes,
Forever.
yes.
I forgot the name of it.
yes.
Everybody is hooked on it. I never played it. Like,
I wanna
but
see
you
what
had
the
to
fuck
get this
happens.
disease everywhere you could, and like the North
Too
Pole and
nosy, though.
Antarctica
I gotta
and shit were
know.
the hardest
Yeah,
to reach.
Brian Stanford
But
for
the game was insane,
It is.
and they had so much fun playing it.
I bet they did.
And then some scientist was like,
Katie said that.
I'm gonna
everything
play this
was
shit
on
for real.
Malaria is an awful
by
parasite.
themselves in the hospitals. No visitors.
Wait, what?
"That's so sad about the moms."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like that I wouldn't want anybody with me giving birth. Don't look.
And like
No, it's a
Alex-
celebration.
No, I think I would do it the way that Lauren Everett's Bostic did. I would have
Alright,
a
so
curtain, and then he'd be back here.
No, I'm pulling that thing out. I'm fighting the umbilical.
Well, no, you could
I'm Tom
cut
Greening
the
that
umbilical
umbilical.
cord after it
Fucking Freddie got
passes.
Yes.
here, get
What
it.
the shit? That's just
Can you
like
do that?
not what I want. I just don't want that.
They're so used to that.
The best part of that
That's what
fucking movie
happens.
is
The LeBaron. We had a LeBaron in my family when that movie came out.
dang, was it blue like that?
Yes.
Ah, Yes, it was.
I could imagine. I thought this was going to turn into one world currency as well after all of this.
We
We're
already
all
have
around.
that.
More revelations. What's up? What are we talking
Yes.
about?
Why would that be bad?
Because it's the end times.
It's all in the end times. Hey,
I've been waiting my whole life to talk about this.
you remember
Wanna talk
in,
about this?
Yeah, of
how the
course. I
Bible
love
talks
to
about
talk
Sodom
about
and
this.
Gomorrah?
Yeah.
How shitty they were. So like God was like, I'm gonna wipe out this.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You guys
It's
aren't doing
been
it
our
right.
history. Oops, I'm sorry. Forever and ever and ever, where
I
God
think
gets
after that, I'm
pissed
sorry.
and
I think that's what's happening right now for
Yeah.
whatever creator you
Right.
want to believe in. He's like, we got some fucked up shit going on. I don't know how to take care of this besides
Right off.
wiping you all out.
Yeah.
And then you put Trump as our leader.
But see, no.
And then
okay, that right there though, he's not our in the world. He's not our leader.
Yeah.
He's like the U.S. leader. Yeah.
But
you think
he's-
he's gonna take over the whole world?
No,
son?
You think
I
you think
think-
no
Bernie
way.
or
There's no
Biden's
way.
gonna take over the whole world?
No one is. It's the president of the
You
United
guys,
States.
the
Son, there's
United-
several other countries to worry
Stop.
about.
The United
No.
States is going to crash. It's going to lose its significance. We have
We're
people
We're not gonna
like
be the powerhouse
Trump.
anymore.
You guys, listen.
Mother
We had
Russia.
a good run.
We did.
Yes,
Mother
Sometimes it's just
Russia.
time
We
to
had a good
retire.
run.
Mother
it's only a
Russia.
matter of
Can
time
we just
before
like retire
it
to
happens.
it being a time where we're just like cool and friendly with each other?
That
again,
wasn't
you
a
know,
Nazi.
and,
That
like,
was a.
That was
Well, what? No, I went
almost.
I went
Um,
eyebrow. Eyebrow out. I even switched arms. I was gonna do left originally. I said no, that's disrespectful. I'm gonna go right. I went to
Jay,
eyebrow,
can you just stop?
and I went
Just
out.
don't even try anymore.
I think it's Mother Nature rebooting too.
Yeah, I mean, look at nature for an instance. In
Can we
fucking Italy,
FaceTime
there's
Katie in
dolphins.
on this?
The happening.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then Shyamalan.
Katie, you gotta
Can
get in
we
here.
Katie,
Can
just
Katie
come to
send us an
Austin.
invite to be in this and get in a second window?
Yeah, she's already been like a very essential part of this situation.
Apocalypse. Yeah.
She's like, that's the game.
She's just so resourceful and smart. She knows everything. She has such great experience.
No, doll, you fucking stay. And you take that Fight Back CBD and you stop stressing. You drink some chocolate. Put it in your chocolate milk.
You can do that.
You can.
You can put it in your chocolate milk.
It'll be
tea,
delicious.
in your Moscow Mule, and your
Oh.
fucking anything. You
He's
can
not
put it
drinking. He's
You
not
guys,
drinking
Adele was
Moscow
probably
Mule.
freaked out. He's like, I'm having anxiety, and we're like, end times.
Adele, come here and I'll give you a hug. I'll give you a hug from a distance.
Can I give the end times rundown?
Yes.
Are you guys ready
What's
for
the
it?
rundown?
All right. So end times.
Brian's never had a religious
Oh, shit.
education in his life.
Katie has corona.
No, she doesn't. We
She's-
know that.
well, okay.
Katie,
wait,
we don't judge.
Katie, I'm sorry you have corona.
She doesn't have corona.
We don't want her spreading it on the second window.
What can we
Your dick.
can we define education just for like?
Wait,
Because I've read so much about it, so much like
Oh, okay,
books,
then.
but not like formal education. You are right. I don't have any.
What
like
kind
you go into a Catholic. I don't have any
Willingly,
of
what kind of books did you read willingly of
or they
Christianity?
like conspiracy?
Like, was it the
theory
Bible
books?
or
that.
like,
So
like, yeah.
I read parts
have you
of
ever read
No, no.
Revelation?
Katie legit
Yes,
has
yes,
corona.
I
Look.
read. I read Revelations. I read through like all the Psalms, right? Because
I
I knew
know.
it was like a very crucial thing to take a Psalm for every day of the
Rest
month,
in peace, Katie.
right?
Oh,
And go
that's
through
cute.
them, and there's like
Stop.
34 of them, or however many Psalms there are. Fucking go through them all. Okay, well, I did from one book, I guess. I was given a
Okay,
book and was told to do
hello.
each of the
Oh.
Psalms in the book. There was like 34 of the book. 34 of the
Katie.
Psalms.
You know, a year ago I was coughing up my lungs, and it was just bronchitis. So I might do that.
Just
It's true.
bronchitis.
Just bronchitis.
No big deal.
Bronchitis sounds
A year
like
ago-
the
But she has a
coronavirus.
A year ago,
fever.
Corona wasn't
She
a
has
thing.
Yeah.
a fever.
You know, I did too for a few days. I was waking up sweating and coughing and dying. It is just bronchitis. I'm sure that's what you have. Go get a Z-Pack.
Oh, a Z-Pack.
Yeah.
Go get a
Um,
Z-Pack. Got the Rona, get the Z-Pack.
So you're
So
right.
Your end times.
Hold on,
No.
no, I want to know your credentials to be able to talk about
Okay.
Revelation.
So
What are your
okay.
credentials?
That was like
I
a
was
3
given-
years balls deep Christian.
Yeah,
so.
right. Same.
Okay, so I was given, I believe, the King James version of the New Testament, and I was instructed to read through the Psalms. And I believe there was like 34.
That'd be the old. The Psalms are in the Old Testament.
Revelations in the New Testament.
Okay, but it's, I mean, there's like,
Oh, you got the King James version of the Bible.
yeah.
Yeah, so there's both.
And you deciphered that for your first Bible?
That was your first Bible?
Okay, so you read
Well,
stuff in it.
I mean,
I wonder.
None of it
I
made
when I was
sense to you.
younger, but I didn't pay attention to what kind it was. I assume it was like a modern
Hey,
My
Did
family
it-
was
there's
not
a-
religious.
I want
Did
to
it make sense to
read
you?
the King James Bible after the last
So to
Joe
me it
Rogan
was
podcast.
okay. So reading the Bible, right? To me
Wait.
is
I think I phrased that wrong. Not the Bible making sense to you, the way the King James was worded. That makes sense to you. Like, was it easy to read for you? Because it wasn't for me. I was really lost when I was trying to read the King James version of the Bible.
I mean, it didn't
But it's like the real.
what they would say. Like I definitely had to reread to comprehend.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. But like
Multiple
Do you know
I
times.
feel
how
like
long ago
that's I feel like
Christianity
that's
was,
just how it's written in general.
thousands.
Like you
and
can have a
thousands
modern
and
translation of the
thousands
Bible, and I feel
But
it's
the
still
King James
like,
is the most legit version of the Bible.
I mean,
supposedly,
it's also
right?
debatable.
But I mean, like that
Yeah.
was
in different
Yeah.
versions of the Bible
It
that don't
came
appear
from
in other
fucking-
versions of
what
the
is
it?
Bible. It's
Right.
like
Also-
whoever was in charge was
Jesus was
like,
missing
this
for
is
30
the
years
version
of
of the Bible I want you to read because this is what I agree with.
So,
this
correct
is
me
what
if I'm
gonna
wrong.
share.
Same thing with the
Correct
Buddha.
me-
You can't like
You
correct
don't
me if
know
I'm
much
wrong, but
about
I
his
believe during
first
Martin Luther era,
uh-huh.
which was the King James version, right?
There's also a new King James version, which was at my school used.
Okay, but is that just like revisions, or
Yes,
is that like a whole new
it's
version?
easier. It's a whole new version.
It's
A
like
whole new version.
Yeah,
Wait,
I would say.
We're getting really sidetracked.
okay.
Please go on with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so, but I mean, that it's relevant because, you know, I'm not deep. I'm not deep
I mean, this
like
shit's
they
not-
are.
like the book of Revelation. It's
Yeah,
not
we're
gonna
allowed
be
to
different. Just
put
the
it in the
wording.
conversation.
But I was,
a little bit
I was
wordings
into the
affecting it
YouTube
not,
conspiracy videos back in the day, and, you know, I had a friend that was into them. I had several friends that were into them, and I would take chunks, you know, and I was, hey, read these, dude. Read this real quick, read this book. Hey, the Psalms in the Bible, and the friends that I did have that are super religious that were in the conspiracy realm were the ones that came at religion very rationally. They were like, hey, man, this is just a guide. This is just a guide for you to follow, to be a good person, and to, like, live a fruitful life, and to be fulfilled, and, you know, not worry about judgment, or not in the sense that you're being judged like when you die, but not worried about, you know, don't worry about how you're perceived, but worry about how you're, like, producing yourself. Like, I don't know, that's a weird word, but basically, like, hey, these are the moral guidelines you want to follow, right? And that's what religion is about, and that's what Christianity is about, and Jesus lived those to the highest perfection that you could live them to, and,
But
you know,
Jesus is just
also
like a
was
person.
graceful, and also was, like, powerful in a way, and did his thing, and, you know, and so that's how that was, like, fed to me, and it made sense, because, you know, it's as if you get into anything else. If you got into conspiracies and you were into it, it's because, you know, like,
Jesus
this
is
is the
literally
good
the
versus the
thing
evil,
in
right? Like, there's this
Christianity,
thing. So the end times
Besides, like, dying for
prophecies
all
that
our
I'm
sins.
familiar with are the mark of the beast, right? And the mark of the beast always comes in the sense of, like, a microchip, right? Or at least common times, right? So the ones that I'm familiar with are, like, we all go the New World Order, or
The mark of the beast is
Illuminati,
X's on
the
your hand or your
Freemasons.
forehead.
the Freemasons, all that, right? Well, in old-timey version, that's it, right? But that's always like, hey, the Bible doesn't hold up. These revelations and these things were written in the time of, like, old time. They couldn't predict it in 2020.
It
We were
was
going to have
also-
smartphones and shit like that. So it's spoken in the word of their time. And it's been translated so many different times. Who's to say that we even have the original translation?
We
correct?
don't.
We don't.
Yeah.
But it was also like a homeboy, whoever wrote it, John, whoever wrote.
There's several.
Revelation.
There was a
authors, right?
bunch of people.
It's people's
Oh,
journal
right.
entries.
Yeah.
But
They
it's
don't
like-
have
yes,
history
exactly.
books back then. They
But
just
it's like-
have people writing down what they were seeing was happening.
But it was like visions. It's like he had like dreamed it up or something sort of. But it's like God showed me this is what happened. So imagine like you were somebody way back when and you saw today. You wouldn't know what the fuck a computer was. You wouldn't know what a helicopter
Well,
is.
of
You don't know what
course.
this is. So then you're just explaining it with whatever words you can use, which are like there was fire and it was doing. It just gets to be like super
There's
weirdly
metaphors
symbolic
and
yeah, so
analogies used. There's the whole
And
burning
who's to
bush
say,
is a
like,
thing that, like, you
maybe
weren't
the
talking to
X's
a burning
are like
bush.
iPhone X. And they
Yeah.
just saw an X on it.
You weren't
know,
talking
and
to a
everyone on
burning
their phone.
bush. You were
You can
talking,
interpret it so many
or you
different
were
ways. It doesn't
smoking a
matter.
bush, right? They
How
would,
much
the
of
acacia bush that Rogan talks about all the time,
Yes.
right? Like the burning bush
Yeah,
wasn't.
everyone does
You
that.
weren't talking to God into the bush.
It
No,
goes back to
you were
everybody who has
consuming the
never read
bush and
anything
seeing
else in
God.
between of what
Like, that's
everybody
what you were
just, like,
doing.
knows, you know?
Well, how many people? Well, everybody back then was walking around through a desert.
I mean, for the most part, if
It
it
was
was like
hot.
in the
It is
Middle
a
East,
desert.
They were
yeah,
walking
yeah,
around
yeah.
through a Middle East desert.
Yeah.
Do
The Bible to
mushrooms
me-
Oh
grow?
my
The
god,
Bible
Becca,
to me-
you should get Damien your Bible teacher.
Does mushrooms grow? in the desert.
I mean, that's the whole thing too. The whole mushroom theory in the Bible. Like the apple was really a mushroom, and it wasn't a tree of life. It was a fucking mushroom.
I think after reading the Bible, that a lot of people were hallucinating, and then just writing down.
I don't necessarily
their
think they were
visions.
just hallucinating either. I was just looking into like Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam last night, like looking into a bunch of different like religions from way
Now
back.
she's Islamic.
No, I'm not. That one was after Jesus. But like
ISIS.
There's so
She
many.
joined. Look at her search record. It's fucking howtojoinisis.com.
No, it's not. I was just looking into other religions, and people have been wondering what the fuck is out there and believing in a higher power before our small minds could even understand what organized religion even was.
What did we just watch where she was like, oh,
Ancient
Westworld.
aliens.
No, Westworld. In Westworld,
Ancient aliens.
she talks
We were
about
watching that a couple of nights.
she talked about this section of your brain that develops God, right?
It allows you to like believe in it. Yeah.
There's a fucking pineal gland in it.
Yeah.
I don't even have to go there, guys. Anyways, the end times theory that everybody knows about is we become some one world government, new world order, right? They all take over, and then the fucking rapture happens, and you have your 1,000 years of doom, and you're supposed to testify whether or not you're a Christian, and be beheaded if you're not, and then there's the final battle.
I don't think that you have to testify whether or not you're a Christian. I think that's what white people in Western worlds did today. I said yesterday, I think white people ruined Christianity.
When you say white people, though, do you mean like the Western civilization, or do you mean like
Western white people?
what she said,
Europeans have been around for a long time, and they're the ones that have,
I just said Western white people.
when she said white people, I pictured Moses.
So you mean,
oh, is that what you pictured?
An old bald man with a white beard. And,
so you mean
and not wearing,
Americans?
I mean,
like,
Americans
like
ruined
t-shirt and
Christianity
jeans, but
because
wearing,
Christianity's
sheep
been around for so long before
Okay.
we were even a country. However,
Fuck.
How?
I haven't. Can we
Tyler
Also
said that's
just say-
racist.
that the end of times everyone here at this table is like freaking out about it.
What's
It's like this whole like
racist?
crazy thing.
damn it!
Like,
Why do I
oh,
always
no.
get called racist?
But we're
I'm not freaking out about it.
well, no, but it's like, oh no, it's the end of times. Here's like the new world order, and like people panic about it. But at the same time, the whole point was like, at the end of that all, it's a good thing. It's like the end
It's a
of
good
time
thing.
as we know it. But afterwards, like God on earth is reigning, and we're praising, and we're having a great fucking time. Like that's the whole thing. Is like we're gonna have like who's to say this is the best part of fucking
It's
the
not.
world and humanity, and there's not like a
Oh,
brighter
yeah.
light on the other side.
So-
Like that's the whole point. Is that's why Christians look forward to it, and they're not supposed to be scared. It's because they know that we're
You
gonna
going to
get to
bed?
fucking rage up and have a great time with like
wanna
God and God's
be ready to
loving.
sleep.
Cool.
To
May I
piggyback
try that
off of
one?
that,
Why is it a terrifying, like horrific panic moment?
no, to
Was the
piggyback off of
Revelations
that.
not? Well, real quick, I have a question.
I mean, yeah, there's like
come on.
plague and sickness and death and like all this
Yeah.
shit, but like
Well, the
if
whole
you-
point is because everybody's gonna live in paradise.
yeah, so cool.
Because good.
But I don't think
And
people
let's think about the
actually
end
are
game
gonna.
here.
Good
People,
prevails.
people are not going to have to proclaim whether or not they're Christian or not. I think it's
I'm gonna
kind
put
of.
it in my water
Yeah.
so I don't put it in my mouth.
I mean, it's got lavender, so it's like kind of whatever.
Oh, it's anti-corona with the lavender.
I mean, it's not bad, but I mean, it's still like the oil.
I know. I'm just gonna drink some more of this. And
I
some of
agree.
it.
I agree with you.
We're not going to be in Revelations. It's not going to be a time where like we have to proclaim our fucking devotion to Jesus. I feel like that's
I
where the
just hope-
Christian religion gets it wrong. I think we're going to be exposed as people. Look at how people are acting right now with fucking toilet paper being off the shelves. I don't think it has anything to do with religion per se, but just like who you are as a person.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think
It's
it's
just
who
going to
you-
show you who, people are going to come out and say this is what I believe in, and they're either going to be like, I don't believe in the Rona, and they're going to go out and get it, or they're going to be like,
Exactly.
no, that's a thing, and I'm going to stay home.
Picture telling your
Western
grandkids one day
religion
that
has
you
just,
got
like,
beat up
put
over
God
a
in a
pack of toilet
box.
paper at the HEB because of this virus, and these kids are just happy living life like we were for so long. And you're talking about how we had it so bad because of this virus that you got
Mm-hmm.
jumped over toilet paper. It's gonna be bad. Like, I
But
started
this is
a
like
journal.
a reset button.
Oh yeah, I've had a
Hopefully.
journal.
I know.
I'm almost done with one that I got back in like 2015.
You've had
so,
one. I
yeah.
figured
Yeah.
with all of this going on, you're
He's had
an
one for
inspiration.
Oh.
of why I even
He's had
started
this
one.
for like 6 years.
Yeah, no, I've
At
had
least.
journals for a while.
I know.
I had journals for
I've
a
known
while.
you for like 2 years now.
Oh, yeah, my God.
How long have I known?
I mean, we've known each other for like
It's been
4
about.
All right,
It's
but-
been
all
about.
right.
hanging out hard like 2.5.
All right, so like you've had a
I
journal the whole
consider
time.
I consider the Christmas party before we joined jiu-jitsu to be like our start. Because we
Okay.
started doing the
Cool.
podcast
That was
from
like
that.
3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
She tried to make me
2017.
meet 3 men that night.
Huh?
She's like, "You'll like this guy. You'll probably like this guy. And you'll probably like this guy." I guess the guy got caught talking shit about one of the guys right in front of him, and
What?
that was bad. And then I liked you that
He's
night.
not the easiest person to introduce to people.
Well, I mean, this guy was a fake ass personal trainer.
Whoa.
Are you talking about Tim?
I'm not
Whoa,
mentioning
we can't say-
names.
No.
Are you talking about Jim?
I'm not mentioning any names, but I know you and I that night
Are
talked
you
about
talking
this
about
guy.
really tiny ass Jim Bob? Is that who we're talking about? Really tiny.
Hey,
ass
we were at
Jim
the
Bob?
Christmas party. I was eating pizza and drinking some brews. I don't remember what he looked like. I just know he was a personal trainer for the. He was a personal trainer, and I didn't feel him too much. And then another guy was a fake ass Dan Bilzerian, and I didn't like him either.
Who was that?
Jim! We're talking about Jim!
That was a fella that owned a gym.
Yes! We're
That
talking
guy
about
owned
a
a
gym.
gym.
A gym, yes. We're talking about a
He
gym.
had a couple layers of muscles, but he also wanted to be Dan Bilzerian. And I was like, this guy's a bitch. I'm like,
Dang.
And then I met you.
now Brian and
and I was
are
like,
BFFs.
oh, this guy's fucking cool. And yeah, here we
Here
are.
we are. Here we are.
Talking
On the
about a big
Apodcalypse.
gym. Oh, yes. The Apocalypse. Apocalypse Now.
Which
Thank
is
you guys
exactly
for
why I
coming
don't
on.
take him to workout.
I love it. I do. You know, the Christmas party this year was a rough one.
I bet.
Oh, man, it was rough.
Dude,
I thought it was great.
I was at my Christmas party while you guys were at your Christmas party.
Yeah.
My
I
Christmas
just
party
go
was
and
fun.
I'm like, I'm double fisting Sauvignon Blanc until I'm blacked out. That's how I handle.
And
the
then he went to
Christmas
Bayside.
party.
And then she tried to fight some people.
I didn't try to fight anybody. You were there. I didn't
We're
try
never
to fight
gonna
them.
let
I
Go.
was
You're-
there.
You're
And
never
I
gonna
saw
let us
it.
down.
She tried to fight some people.
That's not what you said. You said the girl tried to swing on me first. So now,
Never-
I didn't know this was a girl, and she did pull back to
Oh,
hit
that's
Jamie.
a-
see?
What?
Then if everybody just admits to the sin and
I
fucking
guess so.
proof, done and over with.
No,
That's
that's
what
not.
Katie said. That's a theory.
But I
Wait,
think you.
wait.
Katie
That's what Christianity-
dropping bombs.
Of course.
If everybody
That doesn't make
admits to
sense.
their sins and fucking confesses to God that He's the Almighty, it's all done and over.
I don't believe that.
Well, that
That's
was like
the
on
theory.
that God. What is that movie? The guy gets hit by a bus and he dies.
Oh,
Yes,
a hitch.
Right before. No, it was a Christian movie.
Saved.
No, it was like God is real or something. It's like written on the side of a
God is
wall.
Also-
for real? Is it that kid?
Yeah, it's
Also-
like his professor. He's
Was it
the
like a
whole
book?
movie.
While all this
No, the
is going
whole
on, I
movie.
do want to promote my new business.
Yes, go.
What's
If
the
you're a
name?
man that can't find a girlfriend, I'll help you out. I'll go around. I'll steal a girl's dog so you can meet her. I'll do exactly what Will
Steal a
Smith
girl's dog?
did in Hitch.
Wait,
If you need
this
to
is
find
a side
love,
hustle.
Real life hitch over here, Alex is
I'll call myself a relationship coach, I guess.
relationship coach,
Wait,
motherfucker.
wait. You are a relationship coach.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hook people up and let them handle it. from
Sorry,
there.
guys. No offense. He's great and all, but he should not be coaching you in relationships.
So if you need me to steal a girl's dog so you can meet her, I would do that for you. Just letting you know. You're welcome.
Topo Chico, my guy, I gotta bring you some. I gotta try to bring you some. I definitely have to try to get you some. Oh, okay. Oh,
Interesting.
What?
What is that movie? God is for real?
I don't know. There is
Babe,
one like
we
that.
watched it when we lived here the first time.
Where there was a band,
No,
I don't know. But
God is dead.
God is not dead.
God is not dead.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That was close.
You were close.
Wait,
You were
what?
closer than I was. It's called God is not dead. And he spends the whole movie
Is it a
trying
good
to
movie?
profess to
No!
it's terrible.
Oh.
Trying to profess
So bad.
yeah.
So
Trying
bad. They made a God is Dead Part 2 that.
Did anybody watch Alpha Omega?
Mm-mm.
That was a good fucking movie.
I watched Alpha Dog with Justin Timberlake.
CBD vape brought to you by 5 Bag CBD.
I think that Christianity could be so beautiful
Okay.
if you
I
go
know.
back to like the original times of what Christianity was. It was Jesus who made a group of friends with a bunch of like lowlives, and they went around preaching the fact that
Yes.
there's a higher power and you can do anything you want. And
You can't really do anything you want.
you can though, if you
Yeah, why
believe
not?
in fucking manifestation and you believe in it, like the fact
Oh, I
that
thought you meant like you can believe in God and do anything you want and just get into heaven still.
but you can. It has nothing like the fact that
What are you
Jesus.
doing to that water bottle over there?
There's holes.
No, there's
There's-
not.
There's holes.
There's
Jesus
holes.
died on the
There's
cross. So I tell that to every
There's
fucking
holes.
hypocritical Christian. If you believe that you have to confess your sins, then why did Jesus die on the cross in the first place?
It's like a lavender Topo Chico now.
Mm.
Nice.
Can I have some?
Can I? God, I
Say
am
whatever you
this.
want.
Yeah,
This is your
yeah.
time to shine.
I didn't. Okay, we're taking that all as like fact that he did die on the cross, which I
He did though.
I do
Those are
believe-
facts.
I do.
There are scripts of people that aren't even Christians that have seen Jesus die on the cross. That is a real historical significant situation that happened. Whether or not he is the Messiah is what people are like. That's what.
I know that there is a very large percentage of scientists that do in fact believe Jesus existed.
Jesus
Two other men
existed
died
and
on
died on a
crosses
cross.
at the same time.
Whether or
Several
not-
people died on
Jesus did.
crosses. Though.
Exactly.
It wasn't just-
So that's why I'm.
Two-
Several people.
No,
did.
obviously, that's in the
it's
Bible.
logical.
Lots of people.
Two
Right.
thieves got
That's why
hung on
people
the
are like,
crosses
yeah,
at the
that's
same time
right.
as Jesus did.
Yeah.
because it was something that
I'm
happened.
not
But
arguing.
he sacrificed his life to die on a cross for humanity.
I don't doubt that either. If
I
that
mean,
is fact,
regardless
I don't doubt
of whether
What are
he
you
is the
doubting?
Son of
that. I'm not
God or
doubting anything.
not.
I just
He
you're-
did it.
We're taking it as, oh, he did die. Yes, he died for our sins. Do I
He
believe?
did.
Do I believe somebody?
Whether or not that gets you into heaven is not what we're talking about. He died on the cross, but like, who knows if you get into heaven? He could just be another person who had
Yeah, absolutely.
like.
Yeah.
That's not your ticket to that. But even down to like Buddhism, Buddha
There are people that
suffered.
do it now for cults that say it's for whatever. Yes, that is true. Somebody could have definitely done that for Christianity in the past. I'm not doubting that at all. I don't have any I'm not trying to doubt or like. I'm not trying to change any opinions. I don't know. Religion to me is just it's something that makes sense because it's how structures to societies were probably built upon religion in certain ways, and it's obviously
Hinduism's
been
the
such
oldest one.
it's been a pivotal part of humanity as a whole for probably since the creation of the actual like intelligent human, right? The Homo sapien, or whatever you want to fucking call it. I'm not arguing any of the like ideas or the theories, but to sit there and go, hey, yes, it's fact that he died on the cross for our sins, as if that immediately validates all like the water to wine stuff. And like I definitely believe the walking on water to wine shit. But I believe it in the sense that again it was like a metaphorical way of explaining it.
But
right?
I think you also have to think of it like,
It
yeah,
was
if
an
there were
artistic,
thousands of
linguistic
people that were crucified, thousands
Correct,
of
which
people
there
that were killed
It
like
was
that.
a form
So why,
of crucifixion.
right? So
Or
why
a form
did
of-
Jesus' story get to be the one that carried on through thousands of years? That's where it's like,
I
okay,
believe
if there were so many people to choose from to be like, yeah, maybe this guy did something similar and he also got crucified, also said he was like the Messiah, but Jesus was the one that had the reputation.
he was like the
don't know a
influencer.
whole- I don't know
So that's
everything.
why it's like,
But I do believe there is
cool.
a theory that the idea of Jesus is actually a collection of like stories.
I mean, I'm all about
Well, yeah.
symbolism and shit, and like
You
I
are.
think the whole
And I'm not doubting.
point is just that I don't know
It's for
whether
good.
he
It's for
whether he even was like real or not. Like the story and the message is what's important,
correct.
and that's
Absolutely, 100%.
that's the whole point is the
Yeah.
fucking message,
But
and to share it and to be like, it's when
that's
you start
also
getting too logical and technical, and then people just like argue about little details and bullshit and translations and
it's
stuff.
like the
and it's like, well,
Constitution.
the point is, hey, if you just like forgive yourself, forgive other people, fucking have like good intentions with people,
Yes.
have these are the graces
They're
or
guidelines.
whatever,
They're
yeah,
guidelines.
then like
It's an
you're gonna
outline, for
live
sure.
a pretty good, happy,
Correct.
maybe not happy, but you at least at the end of the day can find peace.
You're
and
for
that's
sure
all
going to
they
have
want.
a purposeful life.
And
You're
you know
for sure
what?
gonna
When you
have
die, you're
a
not gonna
fruitful.
lay on your deathbed with regrets because you're
Correct.
gonna know that you like did
Absolutely.
right by people.
Yes.
And that's all they knew. They didn't know exactly what was gonna happen in the afterlife. They were just like
Nobody
hope-
does.
Nobody does.
And see,
You
that's the
just
thing
hope
about
that,
all
like,
religions.
If you are good, that it'll
Did you
what
listen
goes
to the
around comes
Duncan
around.
Rogan
Yes,
podcast?
That's
Yes.
a
Yes.
worldly thing.
And that's just
true.
and it's not just about all what we're talking about is the religion. Every religion, for the most part, has this heaven or hell aspect, this good or evil. Well, that's all there is. Like I was explaining earlier to the situation with the, how you're playing like the personal relationships. There's either this good or bad angle. There's not like this. Every intentional move and action you make has a good and bad like slant to it. Not to say that it's a good or bad action. It could be a neutral action.
We just know
But
that
the
what goes
intention-
around comes around.
Yeah, and
there's only one
there's something
God
that feels
in the
good about
majority of them,
giving
too.
and being
What's the one
fruitful and
with all the
bountiful
gods?
with your people and having community and sharing a message, and there's benefits to that, no doubt, and there's benefits to like the fact that there's a philosophy even to begin with on what being good and being virtuous is.
We just
Right.
know that on Earth, we reap what we sow, right? Like people knew,
Yes.
I plant pumpkin seed, I'm going to get a pumpkin.
Correct.
So they try to apply that principle to the afterlife too, and life in general. And they're like, if I live a good life, then yeah, I'm going to live a good afterlife. They see this principle
Right.
here worked out in their day to day. They just assume this is how it's going to be in the universe, which like, why the fuck wouldn't
I'm
it?
fine with that.
We see patterns in the world. We see patterns in
What about
everything.
reincarnation?
Yeah, I
In
mean,
comparison
why
to like
not?
heaven. Just say that like your soul lives on forever. But rather than like
Yes,
eternity in
and
heaven.
karma is a bitch. And that's why you have
Oh,
to,
my
that's why you
sister's-
want to do good.
My sister says that Pandora's box reflects that. I don't know what she.
What
was
exactly
referring to.
is Pandora's box?
You
Jackie,
open
what's
you
Pandora's box?
Pandora got a box.
Pandora's a
Greek mythology.
goddess?
Yes. Pandora was a goddess, and she was given. No. I think she was an average person. She was given a box. She was like a Zeus. You know how Zeus encountered a female and made,
Zeus is a god, Roman god, Greek god.
yeah, he's the
Roman?
son of Hercules. Hercules was the half human, half god, right?
Zeus
Hercules is the dad, or the baby.
Zeus is the
Sorry.
Zeus is the
guy.
big guy. Have you ever seen the
The
Disney
father
movie?
of Hercules. He
Yeah,
was half
he's
man,
the father
half
of
god.
all of them.
Yes,
Yes.
he's the big guy.
Yes. Okay.
Zeus.
So Pandora was just a human that was able to, I guess, receive from the gods, and she received the box. But the box had all the diseases. She opened the box, and all the diseases got released.
Oh,
Pandora's
shit.
box.
So why is that? What does that reflect?
Like the reap what you sow kind of thing, I guess.
Soul is
Yeah, it's
consciousness,
Greek
and that has to
mythology.
inhibit.
Yeah, Greek mythology. Yeah. Seriously.
There's all these other gods out there.
There's a ton of them.
That's
There's
only
been so many gods before the God that
I mean,
Jesus
sun-
spoke
Yeah.
to.
Like literally the sun.
Yeah.
is a god.
Exactly.
to one
Anybody
religion.
Anybody ever watch
though.
Zeitgeist?
So I was looking into
Yeah.
monotheism,
Zeitgeist.
polytheism.
That's real woke. You're not woke unless you watch
monoism.
Zeitgeist.
Like there's a bunch
1,
of
2,
different
and 3,
religions. There's just so
motherfuckers.
many
Wait.
religions.
We can high five and at
Okay.
the same time get a pump.
Hand sanitizer.
Fight back CBD hand
It's about
sanitizer.
reincarnation.
We
I
use
did.
fight back CBD and hand sanitizer. That's all we're implying. Save 20% by using the
But I
code
kind of
chaos at
feel like that's what's happening
fightbackcbd.com.
right now with the
You
Rona,
guys
is,
are
like,
the only ones I've
reincarnation and
ever
just,
known
like,
to keep an
we need
extra
different
chair
people
in
and
your
different
back.
ideas in this world now. So
I like
a bunch
that.
of people dying.
That was haircut
There's a
chair
bunch
originally. We would
of
sit
new
there to
people
get our
becoming
haircut.
born.
Okay,
When she
that
was
makes
in
sense.
school and stuff.
Why not?
Yeah.
And
That makes a lot
her
of
aunt
sense.
lived here for a bit too. She used it for
Well, it just
making shit.
it makes sense because if you sit on the toilet too long and you stand up, you might be tired and have to sit down on the other chair.
Wait, I walked through that
totally
conversation at
missed
the wrong time.
everything that you were talking about.
Soul is a consciousness and has to inhibit something, so then theoretically reincarnation could be accurate according to science and my sister.
All right. I mean,
Way to
hey,
go,
why
Jack.
not? I find peace in reincarnation, honestly, especially when like my cat died once and I was like really, really, really sad, and I thought, wow, well maybe there's another little kitten that just was birthed and someone's gonna get to take care of it, and it's the same cat, and that made me feel good. And so hey, you know, if that's the same with people, if like my grandma died and I can be like, she's out there still. Someone else gets to like enjoy who she
But
is.
she's part of
So
you
I'm happy.
still, which
Yeah.
is like also part of
And it's-
Do
reincarnation.
you
because she's
reincarnate as
also
soon as
part of
you shut off?
Go.
I don't
Okay,
know.
what do you think about reincarnation? I can't wait. Go.
They say that actually there is a spiritual truth. I'm sorry. One
No, I'm
thing.
about it.
There
Yes.
is a spiritual
Glad to
truth that says when you are dying, your body is going through a lot of stress.
Yes.
And you see this light, and it's actually you being birthed into your new life.
Oh my god, I don't know if I've ever talked to you guys.
Oh my god.
I've never heard that, but I hope that's I never really believed in too much reincarnation.
Yes,
I just
I
think when
learned
my
this
lights
from
are
The
off, I'm
Lion
off. Like I don't feel myself ever being in somebody
Be the
before.
grass in the tree and the
And
antelope.
You know
eats the
what?
grass.
like I don't think I was ever anything or anybody else before. Like I don't have that feeling inside of me. Like how some people are like, I think I was like a sunflower plant before.
But
I was
they
thinking
weren't a
about that.
sunflower plant because sunflower plants don't reincarnate into humans, and humans don't
Yeah,
reincarnate into
exactly.
sunflower plants.
Well, there is
People that are
there
saying
is
that
that
shit are dumb as fuck.
reincarnation. There is that Buddhist reincarnation. Is that no? You become.
I was just
you
reading
become
into
caterpillar,
Buddhist
you become
reincarnation.
I just feel like if you live this life and you're just like
Reincarnation in the human aspect
in
is
human
the
aspect.
best case scenario outside of you doing this 100 times. until
Well,
you
they
get
say
it
that
right.
about astrology too. Aries is the youngest, and Pisces
That's
is the
theory
oldest.
Right there.
So you have to go through these cycles of life.
Yes.
And
Yes.
And
in
then
order,
once you
yeah,
win, you're done.
yeah.
Yes. Or you
That's
move
it.
on
And
to the
then you
next
get to
stage.
just-
Yeah.
That's
Chill
the
out.
best
You don't
idea.
get to come back.
That's
Then you're
the-
just like the intuition voice that comes into other people's
Your
minds to like
consciousness.
to guide.
Your inner
You become
thoughts.
like
You're
a
that
spirit
inner
guide.
dialogue.
Is this
Something
why
I found out.
motherfuckers start jujitsu at 3?
Listen. Okay. So can I tell you guys what my theory of DMT is?
We all know Helen
Yeah.
Keller's my spirit guide.
She did it right.
She is your spirit guide. That's actually pretty fucking cool. I wonder
She's
who mine
blind
is.
and deaf. Best Instagram page.
You know what? All the bullshit just went
Yes.
right past her.
Exactly.
I wonder that people that are deaf, like what
If I
What
could
is their
lose
inner
one of my
voice sound
things,
like?
I would be
I
deaf.
don't know.
Like if I could use one of my senses and just be like, fuck that one.
I
I'd
lose
go
my sense
totally
of
deaf.
taste.
Yeah, I battled that. My doctor told me the other day that, hey, he's like, wear sunglasses and sunscreen. And I was like, okay. And he's like, for real, you have a hit. I had melanoma. And so he was like, you have a history of it, and you can get melanoma in your eye. And I was like,
What?
oh, he goes, in your retina. And he goes, and the only way to fix it is to remove the eye. And I was like, gotcha.
He definitely
Dude, I think
told
he
you
just
that
tried to
freak
scare
out.
you.
Gotcha. What the fuck ever?
Perfect.
Cool.
Perfect
Scared.
person to
Mission
say that to.
accomplished. I'm wearing glasses.
Perfect
I've been wearing them
person to say
anyways.
that
I'm wearing
to,
them
I
more
think.
now. I'm fucking
Your
mission
doctor deserves a
accomplished.
handshake.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, but that sun is real. That sun will destroy you.
The sun gives life.
Yeah,
My
come
hand-
on.
And
What?
takes it away.
My hand used to be orange and yellow.
The sun giveth, the sun taketh.
I kind of believe that the sun is like,
A god.
yeah.
So
Oh,
you're getting
totally.
into what you feel
If
about
not-
Yeah, talk about your
reincarnation.
reincarnation
Yeah.
ideas.
What were you before?
So, okay, no. I can't subscribe to one thought on that, on one opinion on the whole
Baby, I don't
life
think
after
people
death.
know that.
I can't. What I can subscribe to, and I haven't, this is just transparency, I haven't done any
Alex
type of
needs, like, black and
psychedelic
white
outside of
proof
salvia
for everything.
and fucking weed, but I'm not that strong, right? Okay, so I can't subscribe to any type of life after death scenario that I'm aware of. Reincarnation sounds nice, yeah. Doing this 100 times over sounds nice until you get it right, whatever right is. That sounds kind of nice as well. But I think that this DMT experience that people have, right, like meeting this creator or this spirit or this like encounter with death, and then all of a sudden like this calming soothe of like it's gonna be okay, right? Like that's the message people get when they smoke DMT. I was in California last year after hard, right? So I spent all weekend getting fucking high, and I talked to my buddy Andrew's little brother, and he's been cool. We've helped him train and do a bunch of shit.
How
in the
old
past.
is this little brother?
He's like 20. He just turned 21.
All
So
right,
he's like,
so
right, and he did DMT.
he's a grown man.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. When you said little brother, I picture like you talking to an 8-year-old
No.
about DMT trips.
An adult. And like I was legitimately like hungover, probably recovering, and it was like a sunny day. It was super nice out, and I was getting stoned with him in the front yard, and we were just talking about shit. And I remember him telling me
That sounds nice.
it was very.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there and like kind of basking in it and going, "This is nice. Like I hope that I can experience more moments like these." And he was telling me about his DMT trip, and he was talking about how, you know, he just through the whole time had this overwhelming feeling of a voice telling him that everything was going to be okay, everything was going to be okay. And he didn't necessarily know what was happening to him, but he could understand through the process, and the process was him falling back on his bed, getting sucked into like his bed, right, kind of like a slingshot, and then getting launched into this black pyramid that had developed over the corner of his bedroom. There's Jekylls and jesters and people laughing at him and pyramids and other weird shit going on, but that was the consensus. He got sucked into his fucking bed. He like smoked it, fucking took his breaths, like it like kind of trips, boom, then he's in. He says he gets sucked in his bed, launched through this black pyramid and sees like all these fucking shapes and like all these visions and numbers and patterns, all of this Egyptian
because
shit.
that's what we are as people. Our DNA is a pattern.
All these Egyptian shit, all these geometrical shapes and
Why
patterns.
is it always geometrical shapes and Egyptian
All
shit?
these
That's
geometrical
what
shapes
the
and these
earth
patterns,
is patterns.
and this overwhelming sense of calm. It'll be okay. It'll be all right. He comes out of it, right? After like 15 minutes, and his buddies are like, "Yo, you're good." And like they're talking to him. He wants to go back in.
Yeah.
He smokes again, goes back in, right? As he goes back in, he goes, "I'm right back to where I left off, as if I just kicked a dream off. But now they're telling me that I need to go back to the reality for whatever reason. And I need to experience everything." And like that's all he could. He's like, he goes, "I need to come back and feel it." He's like, that's all like I could really comprehend was I had to come back and feel it. I guess that's everything. And I was like, whoa. And he goes, "I definitely at one point thought I was dying." And I was like, "Oh shit, dude, really?" Because I took Salvi and thought I was dying, so I went down that rabbit hole with him. And he goes, "It wasn't until I got that I started getting the voice that everything will be cool, and that eventually talked me out of it." So. And we hear Rogan and all his shit about DMT and all the fucking stoned ape theories and all that nonsense, right? My theory for DMT is it's this fucking thing we have when we fall asleep for whatever reason, when our brain shuts off and we hit this level of like calmness
Jackie
in our
said
body
she's
that everything comes through and we just get to enter the state of like floating, right? We're dreaming. DMT gets released in your brain while you're dreaming, right? I think DMT is nature's way of preparing us for death. And that's why when we take that, and that specifically, we see the spirit molecule, the lady, she talks to us, she tells us things, right? I think that is death in a way. I think that us as a conscious being can experience death on a level that is like a transformation. And it may be lights out, yes. But it might be a period that you experience as you die. This life be flashing before your eyes. This whole like accumulation, right?
Meeting your maker.
If DMT's in your brain and it is in everything, and people's experience of apparently when you die, they've tested the brain, right? It has this hyperactivity in the pineal gland, and that's where DMT is produced. So they think that like you have this filing cabinet of DMT shut as you die, right? What if that is what you experience? What if you just get this hyper rush of DMT to your brain, which is what happens when you smoke it, and you go through this process of like you're seeing everything, the universe, you, life unravel, and it is all a sequence of geometricals and feelings and patterns just broken down to this chemical level that you experience as a human. And because we're human and we've reached this apex of dominance over everything else, all nature has is the fucking brain to like let us know, hey, you've been so far disconnected from everything. One thing that you have to feel, and it's so unfortunate, is death. And this is to introduce you to it so that it doesn't come as a shock when it happens. Or you don't go to your hell. And then when our brain shuts off, what we think about as we die is what heaven and hell is. That's the interpretation of heaven and hell. So the DMT is your brain telling you, hey man, at any moment it could fucking go off. And it's what's up in here that lets you go to heaven or hell. If you're living on a good conscience and you're a good person and you take care of people and you're this and you're that and you follow all the virtuous, it is.
I've always said heaven and
but
hell
think
is
about it.
personal.
Think about it. If you have that, if when you die, it's that rush of life, right? And all you think about are the negative aspects of your life or the negative shit you did to people because you're about to die and you can't tell someone you love them or you can't have this last moment and it's horrific and it's horrible. That's hell. You're going to die with your lasting memory bleeding to death because the car that hits you head on has fucking severed your neck or some crazy shit. That's a hell.
Do you think when you do DMT, you waste?
I think when you do DMT, it's your brain going, hey, motherfucker. At any point, it can shut off, and it's this up here that lets you have a good time when you die or a bad time when you die. And if you do die surrounded by friends and family and loved ones, and you have this wealth and this prosperous life with other people, and you give and you take this energy, whatever that is, right? When you die and you're happy and you're in that peaceful place, that's your heaven, that's your clouds. Because your DMT, your brain, it's rushing, boom, you're going to go into this epiphany. It's probably going to be clouds and shapes. And
Do you know how when you do MDMA, how your brain just depletes the serotonin?
I've never done an MDMA, but I know that you're miserable the days after.
Right. Do you think doing DMT, you kind of waste it, so when you do die, you don't get as much as you should because you did DMT 5 times throughout your life?
I don't think smoking
And each
it is
time-
really going to affect what that gland is there for. I think you're fine. I really cannot see the DMT production of your body.
It's a
Like
good
you're
question,
depleting
right?
the good time. That
Yeah.
sucks.
Like
I
you're already
don't-
getting
I
it while
can't
you're
foresee
still
that.
alive.
So you burn it out.
So when you're dead, it's just like I
Fuck.
fucking
But you
wasted
guys,
it.
you can
I mean,
access that part
That's
of
what
your
I think. It's like he thinks it's
Katie
gonna
says
be
hugs,
some
not drugs.
whole big crazy thing, and I'm like, what if you just fucking lie there and like that's it? Like you don't even know.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
that's
like-
because that's not fun.
You
Yeah,
can
That's
get
boring.
who cares? Who knows
Oh,
if
no.
it's fun or not?
Let's be real. Let's be real.
I don't think
if
you
we're,
can take into
if we're putting
consciousness.
the law of averages here, it's black, right?
I mean-
It just shuts off. You can't even comprehend being shut off.
Because we're not
you don't
supposed
know.
to
Well,
be
even
able
when
to
you get hit in the
comprehend
face
it.
hard, it doesn't
Humans
shut off.
aren't
You get this
supposed
like
to be
bright
able to
flash that
comprehend
comes to you.
God.
But I mean, like, your comprehension of shutting off is like dreaming at night, going to sleep, and then waking up, right? And there's a wake up. There's a fucking this weird inner limbo that you're kind of in while you're dreaming. No, you don't have a comprehension of no.
Do you remember your dreams?
But there's
Do
a
you dream?
subconscious and a
Yeah,
conscious
yeah.
mind. We only use 10% of what our brains can even handle. Otherwise, we can't feel the blood in our bodies. We can't feel the way that our bodies digest. We can't.
Yes.
We use the
Yes.
tiniest bit
Yes.
of our brain.
You do.
I
A
think
lot of
when
people
we
just use
take
one side of their brain.
hallucinogenics, like it opens it up a tiny bit, but for what you get when you die, I really can't see being in those last moments being like, oh God, if you're seeing your whole life all at once and seeing the universe all at once, I don't feel like that.
I don't necessarily think okay, so let me frame this up a little bit. I think as you're dying.
Have you hallucinated before?
Yeah, when I was on salvia, but it was like, and I
That
thought I
sounds
was
like the
dying.
worst one.
Yeah,
I
that
thought I
sounds
was-
like the worst one.
I thought
That
I was
sounds
dying.
so bad.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
did
why
3 tabs of acid once, and I did not feel death on me once.
that's why I'm reluctant to try acid and mushrooms. And when I do trip, and I'm planning on it, it's going to be mushrooms. And
This
Yeah.
is some
I have to.
Egyptian shit.
It's happening.
You can control it a little bit more.
We were gonna do it
mushrooms.
when we went to California. We were gonna do it in Joshua Tree and kind of like microdose till we got to like
Yeah.
that level. I'm interested. I have to do it. I have to. And the salvia trip, it definitely transformed me as a person. I was petrified of
It's
of
artificial.
everything.
You
Yeah.
need to trip on mushrooms. It's real shit.
'Cause
Like
I
it's
was,
a real
it
trip.
was a rough time. But that's what dug me. That was right around the time I started at T-Mobile, where I met these friends that were like fucking super religious, man. And I was just like, man, I need something. I need something in my life that's going to draw me to something else or to something different. And like, I think that's, I was overweight, and right around that time I got really into working out, and I got into MMA, and I got into like all those things that definitely changed my life. And I didn't go the religious route because something didn't click with me. I don't know if that's something that the other people feel, and I think that's the reluctancy to embrace the God, right? That people talk about, how they fight him and they don't want him to be a part of his life, right? And I think that's
Christianity's kind of creepy
People
too.
just
Though.
don't want to hold themselves accountable for shit. I think that's where
and I
people,
think,
like,
I think it's an
Yeah.
interpretation of just accepting you for your flaws and working on yourself, right?
Right.
And
They're
And
very,
then accepting,
like,
accepting
other people.
yourself,
It's like,
yeah, and
it's just
accepting
like
other people for
you just
being
change the
them.
framework of your fucking
But
life.
they're also
Yeah.
like, tell me
I
all
went
of your
scary
deepest,
today.
darkest
I went
secrets.
that route
Like,
more than anything. I went
confess all
that
your sins to me in your
rational,
community.
like
It's too much.
practical aspect more than the like religious
Like monks.
not the monks, but the more I didn't, I don't necessarily share the same beliefs as like your fundamental religious person would, right? Like I'm pro-choice. I'm, like gay rights. Like I'm pretty weird when it comes to shit like that. Like I'm about do your thing, and I don't necessarily think you should
I
oppress
don't
someone
think-
because of their religious
I don't
beliefs.
think
And
that
I think
has
religious
anything to do with
oppression
religion.
is one of the
Katie
biggest
said it.
issues
She said
there are.
people don't like the idea of having consequences for their actions.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. and I
No,
mean,
people struggle with that so fucking
That's
bad.
accountability.
Is that what
Yeah.
we're getting right now? Are we
Right.
getting consequences for our actions? Are we going back to Sodom and Gomorrah? There's 2 shitty states.
full
Yeah.
fucking
Or
circle.
cities.
You brought it up
Yes.
earlier, and it's just like, okay, if there is any type of pulse check on the planet, and if there is any type of like, yo, motherfuckers, we're having it right now, right?
Yeah.
Is that safe to say?
The
I've never
whole
had
world
this.
is having it all at once.
In 18
Literally the
months when
whole
we
world.
come out, in 18 months, right? Because they're projecting the U.S. bounce back economically and like us getting back to a normalcy being anywhere from a year to 18 months.
Fuck yeah, that's
2021
perfect
is gonna
timing for me to
suck.
graduate school and start my business. I'm so pumped. Thank you, Corona. We're all gonna. Sorry.
Shit's from hell.
She was very.
I'll survive
Thank
Corona.
you, Corona, for sure the only podcast that's safe for fucking Corona.
I'll survive Corona. We're all gonna survive Corona. You know what? All these old motherfuckers that are dying, I'm sorry. I love you all, and your soul is special. However,
Your time's up.
Yeah, you might want to.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, 8 to 18
What?
months. We have.
She says this until it happens to her mother or father, and then she's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
no,
Possibility
absolutely. I'm
of
saying like,
shit hitting the
yeah.
fan even worse, right? But
Yeah.
let's say we do recover in 18 months. Are we gonna go back to this? Are we gonna go back to this fucking? Like we've already seen the lakes turn clear. We've already seen China have a couple days of no pollution.
Dolphins in Italy.
Dolphins doing some shit in Italy. Whales talking to one another and weird shit. All this shit that's
oh
happening.
my god, it is the earth
And
saying this is what I
8
needed.
to 18 months comes, right? Everybody, it all passes.
And you know what?
Do we really sit back and go to how it was?
It
No.
sucks that people
Rebirth.
have to die.
Okay, all right, let me
Your mom
rephrase that.
even said
Let me
people are
rephrase
going
that.
to die.
Let me
People are
rephrase
dying.
that. Can I rephrase this real quick?
But it is all part of the plan and for the betterment of like
8 months to
human life
18
to
months. Here we
evolve.
go. The question one more time. 8 to 18 months. When it's all said and done, does the planet, as an overall sum, really sit back and go, this is the lesson that we need to have learned, and this is what we're going to carry forward?
You
As
guys,
long as we don't go too
I don't
I'm
like
sorry.
being pessimistic. I'm glad. I'm glad you guys are being optimistic about it. I don't
Yeah,
think that that's
people
the
need to be
case.
I don't
optimistic,
think-
and they're going to create an optimistic reality.
Yes.
You can't be pessimistic about it and like hope for
Yes.
it and like just it's going to be terrible because then you're going to have a terrible fucking.
if
There's
you're
no-
hoping
there's
for
no
the, or
doubt
if
that
you're
we're gonna
preparing
pull
for the
through.
worst, you're going
We're
to
gonna
get
pull
what you
through.
prepared
We're going to
for.
pull through. There's no doubt.
I think it's gonna change.
I don't think
people.
our ways change. Yes.
We're gonna
Yes.
change each other in 2 weeks.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
Us as people being trapped in. I
Yeah,
mean,
how many people go back to
We're
normal
being
in 2
forced
weeks?
No, they
to
don't.
sit with
You
ourselves
sit with yourself for
alone.
2 weeks. You're not the same person anymore.
Nobody can be alone.
Like in
But
isolation.
people also aren't all in isolation. Like
No.
Florida's about to go even deeper
Dude,
into their
Florida's-
whole containment because people are just raging.
I
mean,
still
people
think we
like-
just need to get Florida to
There's
Australia.
still so
Just
many
get rid of
people that
Florida.
are at home all the time anyway. Like a ton of old people just chill at their fucking house all the time. Like they don't. do
Katie,
anything.
did
Many
you
people
see
work
that
from home,
Texas
like-
has had a crazy increase in child abuse cases since they have been
Uh-huh.
I
forced
fucking said
to
that.
be around their
I said that was
kids?
going to happen.
People don't know their own kids.
I said that
Yeah.
was
Yes.
going to happen. I
Yes,
said
Dude,
that was going to
Do
happen.
you know how many of my
Yes.
clients here
Pin in the
tell us that
comment.
we have to have a kid,
it's a
and
pinned
then
comment.
they tell us that we have to have a kid, and then tell us that their nannies are raising their kids for them. Like, but they stress to me like, "Oh no, you and Jimmy have to have a kid. You have to have a child."
Wait, who?
I've had clients
Oh,
stress to me, but every time somebody stresses me to have a child, their children are being raised by nannies. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I'd be annoyed as
Well, I
fuck
mean,
by
I
that
feel
too. 'Cause who
like-
the fuck are you? You
Yeah,
tell me
Yeah,
everything.
I mean, I
yeah,
don't
but
think
now
it
like the
necessarily
child
is
abuse is
describing
going
any
up.
parent shouldn't
That
care
parents
how
are around their
somebody else.
children. It's bad.
I mean,
I knew that was going to happen.
Some
Even
kids are
domestic
shit, though,
abuse,
dude.
not
Just
just.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Wow, I get yelled at for saying the old people have to die, but you say that about the kids. No, but even
Some
just
kids
like
need to be smacked
we all
across
know
the
my
head.
thoughts about kids. If they're not mine, I love them. I love all kids. Kids do not deserve to be abused, obviously.
Hey,
Obviously.
somebody's gonna use this as a sound
But
clip
Brian,
one
we're
day,
pushing
turn
down
you
some
into Joe
stairs.
Biden.
Don't jump.
I would push her down.
He wouldn't.
Just
Jamie,
kidding.
She wouldn't push you. He'd throw you.
A zing.
You guys, that is like just part of it though. I just feel like, I don't know, we are meant to evolve as a human race right now. And we are so focused on impressing people. and
Evolve
don't-
how? Can you elaborate?
We are about to open up our minds to a completely different way of thinking. We have to sit with ourselves for 6 weeks when the majority of people spend their lives impressing other people by
I think
doing
the only
things.
way we can get through this is if we evolve.
Yeah.
We can't regress and become something better.
There's going to be an evolution in the aspect of like progress. Hopefully, yeah.
And even
like, hopefully we
I
learn a
think
little
people
bit
are
more
going to
about
get so much
ourselves.
more creative.
Yeah.
Innovation is going to
innovative.
get crazy. Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to
100%.
be neat. I
Even
think.
Yeah.
just
yeah,
like
I agree.
I believe that there's more like good, creative,
Hold on.
hardworking people right now that have influence rather than the people that are just like fucking around and like hating. You
We've
know,
all
like,
been
there's
through
way
shit,
more
right? We've all been
power
through shit in our lives
in the
that
creative.
have completely ruined us to make us better people.
Right. Correct. I
To
think
some people, the coronavirus is the scariest, worst
for
time of
most
their
people, it
entire
should-
life.
Yes. Yes.
So for some people that have gone through more than the fucking coronavirus, like this should be a breeze. Like this should be a relief that
This
people are
isn't a
gonna fucking
breeze.
struggle.
Because
Yeah,
everything
see, I
I've
was
went through in
having
my
that-
life has never been like this.
Yes, I was having that discussion the other day, and somebody was like, we've all had personal battles that are worse than this, and I was like, that's true, but this is fucking death.
This is you
This
talking
is
to
like-
the wrong
This
person.
is, and
Huge
if you've
scale.
experienced death, you may not be afraid of the death aspect. Correct. You may not be afraid of maybe you getting it in that aspect, and I can understand that. But you, as like your place in your social gathering and relationships, has never experienced anything like this.
No.
You've experienced your own hardships. Yes, everybody has.
I've experienced like
We as a group,
sick.
like right now, this thing that's going on is such an aspect of all four of our lives at this very moment. Nothing else is. Nothing else is. We all have our jobs and like our livelihoods, yeah. But if we really wanted to, we could disconnect from those aspects and really not pay attention to them. If we didn't want to, we could quit our jobs, whatever, not give a fuck, right?
right.
Corona's in all of us, I think. Not in all of us, maybe that's the word, but
It might be.
Corona is fucking everywhere. You can't not pay attention. And that's why it blows my mind when people are like, you shut down? Yes, my guy. The entire world.
Dude, one of my
whole
coworkers
world.
straight up told me yesterday, it's not that bad. You don't understand.
I mean, it's going to be bad
Optimism?
if everyone gets sick at the same
Optimistic?
time. That's
Yeah.
what's bad.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, my mom said today, like, we're probably all
Her
most
mom's a
likely going
nurse.
to get it.
Her mom's a nurse of like 20 years, and her fucking mom's
30
boyfriend's a
years.
lung doctor.
Yeah, yeah.
So suck it.
And they're like, we're probably all going to get it at some point, but we can't all get it at once
Not you guys,
because
yeah.
then it's going to overload the hospitals and then people aren't going to get care. It can be treated and cared for, and not most of the people that get it don't have severe symptoms. It just kind of, you can fight it off. It can come and go.
Yeah.
But if everyone gets sick at the same time and everyone's having this like super terrible like viral pneumonia, then there's just not enough resources to go around.
This coming
If
from
we
a
can like
doctor and a nurse.
control people getting it, at least on
In
like
waves.
a level
Yeah.
basis and like stabilize a little, then it'll be okay. We can like pull through.
Doctors
But
and nurses at a
people-
hospital that has 5 beds in the
When the
ICU.
hospitals are like overwhelmed, that's when it's a problem.
So in a town that
I
just
wonder
had
what
their
this
first
means
case.
for our health care system. Like,
Oh, it's whole.
We look like idiots.
Exaggerated.
Exaggerate. Yes, I was going to exacerbate. What's that?
Exacerbate.
Exacerbate.
There's a B.
I don't know
There's
why
a
I
Yes,
can't say
hashtag flatten the curve. Exactly.
Exactly. Yes. And there's this huge like exaggeration of holes in the healthcare system, in the employment system that we have, all that. That's what this is doing. And that's why there's been reports showing that the United States has been the worst prepared. And is probably, China was on that fucking airtight sealed lockdown for 6 weeks. Government lockdown where they were mandating when you could leave your home, where you could go, and how you could pick up your resources. Like it was quarantined to the max, if you were even allowed to leave. They think that we're a couple weeks behind that. And that's based on a lot of the infrastructure that was in place prior to this happening. And then the response. The senators, it was just released that 5 senators in January basically sold their stocks when they got the first bits of information about the coronavirus. Like, you knew that this was going to impact us economically to where you stepped out and it's now being brought against you because it's a huge thing. Scientists have been calling it for years. The dude that was on Rogan, the All-Stockholm gentleman, he said that his book was written 10 years ago, and he said we've been predicting this to happen within the next 5 to 15 years for the last 20 years. Like it's always just moved down a year or two, but it's always been within the same decade. And now it's here, and look at what we've got to show for it. We've got very little attention in the science community, very little attention in the medical community, very little attention on infectious disease prevention, vaccines. This whole anti-science movement that's
Our
going
healthcare
on.
system is based on keeping us sick, though.
Do you think this is the time in our life that the people are the furthest away from God? As like a world?
I mean, yeah, of course,
Yeah,
absolutely. There's more
absolutely.
atheists now than I think anything.
Yeah.
Atheists and agnostics.
I think people are just so self-absorbed now.
Yeah,
I
everybody's
don't
in love
think
with
that
their
they're
self
atheist
now.
or anything. I think, yeah, they're just self-absorbed. I don't think there's
This
anything.
is a good old reality check, like, hey, sweetie, virus.
Yeah.
Does that mean that they're more self-absorbed? Does that mean that they just don't necessarily need religion to kind of understand like values?
They worship themselves.
I see it both ways.
What does that mean? You don't have to worship yourself to be a virtuous person. There's several people that probably don't worship themselves that we can consider role models of some sort of ethical behavior.
How many Instagram
Like who?
people do you know that don't
Name
leave
one,
their
for
house
example.
anyways and just sit around taking pictures of themselves?
I mean,
Isn't it all about themselves?
okay, I would look at like the doctor or like the
Some, yeah,
Christian
little,
Bale,
I would look at
American
examples.
Psycho.
They're not like completely infallible, but I would look at people that represent like some sort of namesake, and
Is
like
your mom
Neil
religious?
deGrasse Tyson, as someone that
She's
just like
scientific.
contributes to some sort of
She, like,
community
goes
in
back
a
and
way
forth.
that's like developmental and progressive, and like also has somewhat of like an ethical background, I guess. He's a weird excuse because I know he's had like some allegations against him, but
It's easy to believe that guy when he doesn't let somebody else talk.
that's true. That's true. And he is just in one aspect a smart, intelligent person. He doesn't know everything and anything. He might have been a bad example, but we can all come up with an example, I'm sure, of someone that we consider like a virtuous person, or a person that lives within these ethical boundaries that are worth, at least acknowledgement
I don't think they have to be
as
like
a holy person
poster
would.
children of
I was gonna say,
ethics.
yeah,
I think
you
it's
don't
just
have
like
to
the
be
people
a
that are just
perfect
everyday
person.
people
Mhm.
doing nice things and
Yeah.
fucking helping.
Yeah.
You know?
And you're not going to be perfect in
That's
every
it.
aspect, but
Yeah.
you're going to
No.
have your characteristics that are, noteworthy for sure.
No matter what religion you are, you're not going to be perfect.
You don't even have
You're
to
a
be a
human.
part of a religion.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
supposed
no.
to.
Like
Yeah.
my
You're a human, you're not perfect.
Absolutely.
You came out of the
100%.
womb not perfect.
Yes.
It's like my client today who the first time I cut her hair wrote me a
Yes,
5-star
yes.
Yelp review, which was like so nice. And then she's the same client that's like, hey, how can I help you out? I know you're out of work. And she sent me like $40.
That's awesome.
And I was like, I'll give you a free haircut. She's like, no, you don't even have to do that. I'm doing this because I want to. And I was like, why are you so nice?
Yeah.
Because
So
some
it's
people
people
really
like
get to
that,
work.
you
They get to
know?
work still.
Like, that's so
They pay it forward.
kind. you
Yeah,
know?
that's so nice.
I don't know where it stands, but I kind of feel like that's the situation that we're in a bit. I mean, I don't know. I know that I have to work through like all this and like make a living, right? And it's scarce out there, so I should. But that's how I look at it. Like, I'm fortunate enough to have a fucking job, so I'm
Mhm.
definitely gonna work.
Me too.
I'm definitely not gonna like bitch out. And at the same time, like,
We fish out.
I don't feel like
I'm
it's
bitch out.
not that it's like
Like,
not that it's like even a
I'm
bitch
out,
out.
yeah.
But even in that regard, like, I'm the man in the family, right? Like, if shit
Yeah,
really
so
did
you're
hit the
gonna bring
fan,
home the
and it was
virus
wartime,
to the
Yeah.
and there's wartime, and there's
While
not
I'm
like,
doing my best
and
to
there's
stay
not like a
Yeah.
draft, I'm gonna
That's
be the
cool.
one that's fucking probably doing it, right? Like, I'm
Right.
the man, right? And so that's just where my mind goes, and I'm just like, it's bare minimum I can do is at least fucking still earn a fucking living while being out here and doing the thing. And I don't know if that's like there's just like a part of me that doesn't allow that to like falter. Or it doesn't allow like there to be like a bottom below that, I guess. Pride,
Yeah,
maybe,
Well,
and
yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's pride. I guess that's a sin. So never mind.
I have a lot of fucking
Fuck
pride,
me.
and I'm not
Yeah.
working.
A lot of yeah.
Pride.
I'm not working.
Fuck. I'm so
I have pride in
filthy.
myself. I'm
God
one of those
damn it.
people.
It's weird without the headphones on, and I feel like I'm talking into a microphone, but I can't hear what I'm saying without the headphones.
You are talking into a microphone, and are you ready for it? You can hear what you're saying because you don't have no.
But
This
it's
is
a
completely different.
experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is. I feel like
You guys are
I'm
too loud. I
in
can
a whole new world right
had
now.
to take them off.
Oh no, we're not too loud.
Hold on,
It's
I want to
fine.
hear.
It's,
I haven't heard the whole time.
yeah, listen.
What do you mean we're too loud?
I don't feel like I'm too loud.
I,
We've definitely been talking over each other.
well,
Our
there's-
bad.
there's a
Our
lot of
bad.
yelling
That's what
that
happens
happens.
when there's 4 people on.
Successful
I'm free
podcast,
myself.
though, guys. Hey, if I may, I know we're good.
I think we
Successful
were all
podcast,
passionate
I
about
think.
the conversation.
I think we were.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know how far we're into this.
We are
Does it
over
matter?
2 hours into this.
Sanitize.
That smells like vodka,
It's
like cucumber flavored vodka.
I think it is
You know,
flavored, yes.
it's probably not far off from vodka, to be honest with you.
It's
My
70% alcohol.
Should we
It's
try
a little
it?
more.
Should we take a shot?
Scoot it up.
No, just kidding.
Scoot it up. Is that what you just said?
Scoot it up.
I think I was going for
Scoot.
squirt it up.
Squirt it up.
Squirt doesn't always just come out of my mouth the easiest, you know.
Scoot.
Scoot it up. Scoot it up. Hand sanitizer brought to you by two dudes taking Fight Back CBD. Fight Back CBD. Save 20% by going to fightbackcbd.com. You can get 100% THC-free CBD products. You can get rash guards, ranked rash guards. You can get T-shirts. Support the cause. Fightbackcbd.com. Justin MC from Fight Back CBD is an honorable gentleman making changes in people's lives.
Huge wrestling fan.
Huge wrestling fan. NWO
Great
for
guy.
life.
NWO for life.
Great gentleman. Hashtag Team Fight Back.
Are we leaving? Is that
I'm
it?
sleazy.
If you guys like coffee, go get some summer
I'm
moon.
just kidding.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we align with our values, but
Oh, well, they don't align with our values, but we're trying to get them to sponsor us, I thought.
Are they
Yeah,
open
we
right
like
now?
the coffee.
Whoa, why doesn't Summer Moon want to be going?
They're pro-life, but whatever. I mean, I don't really care. They
See,
can-
that's okay. Here's a discussion.
Oh, no.
We're not done yet.
We have an apocalypse tomorrow.
we can
And the
believe.
next day. We got 6 weeks for this thing.
People can believe what they
But
want to believe.
the pro-life, like, okay, I have friends that are pro-life, and they're still my friends. You can still have
Okay.
friends
Yeah.
that have different things.
Yeah.
That's what's important to note, people, is you can have friends of all types of beliefs, all types. I'm a Virgo.
You're Libra rising.
God damn it. Point is, folks, you can have friends and acquaintances and
You just have to
loved
respect
ones.
people.
Yeah,
That's
it's about
all.
respect.
And don't stoop low if someone treats you like shit.
But don't pro-choice people respect
You can.
people's choices. Unlike pro-life people aren't respecting other people and their
Yeah.
choices.
At all. Like,
So that's why I don't respect them.
Wait, say it, go. Oh, dang. Hot take. What?
Summer Moon at least does not have the churches outside of their stores saying,
That's
please don't. They're just giving to organizations that help it.
One more
That do
time.
in fact also do that.
What
Yeah,
did you say? One more time?
Yeah, touche.
I was gonna say people that are pro-choice are like, it's it's not that they like are. They're just letting people, hey, if you want to have your kid, cool. If you don't, cool. Where pro-life is
Yeah,
like
you have to.
absolutely not, you know. And so I'd say pro-choice people are a little bit more respectful to everybody's ideas, where pro-life people are not.
Compromise is another big one, and that's what that is. Compromise, people.
Unless
Compromise and
if
respect.
you're a pro-life person, then they're like, no, you suck. So I think that's like it's the lesser of two evils when it comes down to how people act together. I feel like people just need to be like, you do you,
You do you.
you do you, boo, and then I'm gonna do me, and then that's all I'm gonna care about.
Moral of the story. Moral of the story. You do you, boo. Be respectful.
just don't let her at a concert.
Compromise.
Oh, what?
Compromise.
Don't let me at a
Don't
concert.
mosh at a concert.
Yeah.
He
Not
loves
in
script.
Austin.
Not in Austin, at least.
Facts of life. We're done.
I
Are we
was
done?
done.
Signing out?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Alright.
Yeah.
You guys
Are we
probably have to
signing?
leave.
Alright.
Dude, this fucking fight back has me tired.
Yeah, dude. I'm not fucking. Yeah. Five.
I
Lavender
wouldn't share any
melatonin,
with
a
me,
night version.
so I wouldn't know. I can't sell it to you guys.
Maybe
Sorry.
have it CBD
They didn't
test.
sell it to me yet.
Bye.